Y'all already know what it is. It's NBA GOAT discussion, man. Get ready for it.
If you can hear the sound of my voice, you are listening to episode 46 of His, Hers, and Ours, a real-life couple holding real-life conversation with real-life friends. I'm your co-host, Solomon Davis, and not joining me today would be my wife and the infamous culture queen, Shannon Royal Davis. She is in studio, but today we at the barbershop. We having that talk that we've been talking about forever and a day, and we're going to get into it. The great debate.
This is His, Hers, and Ours presents Cover 2 Conversation. Without Reginald
Gray. I'm sure he's listening, going to be in the messenger, so we'll get his comments on it. But I'm blessed today to have some fellas in here with some good conversation, some guys that have their own podcast, and I want them to plug their podcast so we can get some viewage coverage all over. So right across from me, we have Mr. Bakari Robinson, co-host of the OG Sports Show. How you doing today, man?
I'm all right, brother. What's going on?
Nothing much. Tell us about the OG Sports Show.
Just a couple of guys. Me, my boy Chuck, Slow Motion. Been friends. Started the West Tampa Yellow Jackets probably about 2003. Got really close, and we just since then we always just what we do is just talk trash, talk about sports, talk about music, talk about anything. We usually go live every first and third Sunday over at Shift to Visit Media with Claude and Mike. So that's what we do, and just have fun.
Man, we appreciate you coming by today. And like I said, I was blessed to be a guest in the studio while you guys had my wife on as a guest a couple times. And, they say I was cutting up in there, so the second time they wouldn't let me come back.
You couldn't come back.
It bothered me. But it's good. I was able to watch it online while I was working out, so it's good. So, Bakari, real quick, because today's going to be nothing but NBA talk. You personally, not greatest of all time or best of all time, just your favorite basketball player.
My favorite basketball player of all time is probably Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley. Okay, cool.
Why? Well, because being a shorter, big guy myself, coming up through, junior high when we had it here, I went to Greco, went to King, played basketball.
Shout out to the Cubs, Greco.
Cubs. Always played the 4 to 5. So that's and I just like Barkley. I like how he plays. So I kind of tried to mimic my game after Charles. So.
All right. Cool. To Bakari's left, we have my man who I've known for over 20 years.
Oh, man.
Had the best backcourt in Employee League history.
Ty cover service. I'm the point guard. He was the 2.
Mr. Daryl Newton, host of the Chop Shop. What's going on, D?
Hey, not too much. Well, first of all, thank y'all for inviting me on this great conversation, man. I just enjoying the energy right now, the vibe. So, just with Chop Shop, we've been running Chop Shop probably about 6-7 years now. It used to be called Holla at Me, and we changed it. But, I got some partners that do the show. Actually, my son's a part of it. So, AMG, Coach DB, and David Ruff, and that my boy Greg Dahl. So, we have different type people, all different sides of the track, as far as educators, entrepreneurs. We do something. Actually, we're going to start in July where we're going to have high school coaches come on, preview the season. Then we also do, like, football. We do Game of the Week. What's going on, Tate? So, we got a lot of guys that come on and support what we're doing. I got a sponsorship with Wingstop, Conan's, my man Carlos on 4th Street Auto Repair Center. So they just keeping the dream going, man. And just to get in here with y'all, I'm excited because this is what I like to do right here. So the fellowship, conversation, I already see Miss Shannon is definitely entertainment. So I'm excited, man. Ready to see what we're gonna get going in here today.
So D, what I'm looking for you, because we all, Bakari, Rob, myself, Serge, we all in pretty much the same age range. You got a couple years on us, and what have you. So a couple names I be dropping off to these cats. They like, who is that?
Oh man,
you're gonna be able.
I'm here. I'm here. Yeah, I can enlighten you. We can do all that today. I'm here for it.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I'm gonna ask you the same question I asked Bakari. Your favorite player. Don't have to be the greatest or the best. Your favorite NBA player.
Well, let me say this. Growing up in Atlanta, Dominique was that guy for us. Watching basketball because he gave us a sense of pride in Atlanta. Atlanta was suffering, you know, for our sports with the Braves. Falcons had moderate success in the early 80s, but Michael Jordan is my all-time favorite. But for me, Dominique was that dude.
All right.
And I always want to say something real quick before I like to cut up the cloud, so just let me do this real quick. Anybody want to be an artist, don't want to be executive producer, all of the videos, all of the record, dancing, come to Death Row. Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Stay a star.
As always, joining me to my right, the Church Sinatra,
Absolutely.
the big boy president,
Yeah, the
Mr. Rob Thomas, the ghetto philosopher. What's
Hey.
going on?
Commissioner Rob in the building today.
Oh, you
Okay.
gonna do it like that?
You know what I'm saying?
He say
Yeah,
facilitate.
we overseeing the game today. You know
All
what
right.
I'm saying?
I'm making sure all the
I gotta
rules
be
are followed.
Shannon. Yeah, I got to be
Okay,
Shannon.
respect.
Okay.
Respect.
Yeah.
No problem. So, same thing to you, man. Your favorite NBA
You go,
player?
you. Magic Johnson.
Okay, I can respect that.
Nobody that I loved more playing ball. I love Jordan, but nobody more than that guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I bought the shoes. I probably was the only one in the hood with those
Hey, Miss
shoes.
Cookie.
Yeah.
I
You know
want
what
to
I'm
ask you
saying?
something. I got to always ask Magic Johnson fans this. Do you remember where you were when you found out that he was retiring?
I was in my living room eating spaghetti when I looked at him saying what he was going through and
I
that
was
he was
sick.
going to walk
I
out.
ain't gonna
was
cap.
very
I was
hurt.
sick.
Mm-hmm.
I was
I
sick.
remember.
I was
complete-
sick.
But his smile, I'll never forget.
Bruh.
It couldn't be me.
Mm-hmm.
But I always loved that guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I always loved that guy.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, behind the ones and twos, as usual, the Surgeon General.
House
the Surgeon Alfred Bill. I don't even want to ask that question to him that I done asked everybody else because I know the answer. But
I mean,
go
do you
ahead
know?
with it.
Do you know?
Go
This is
ahead with
different.
it.
My favorite of all
Your
time?
favorite of all time.
It's like a tie between Kobe and AI.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Kobe,
For real.
yeah, okay.
Just because they're my favorite don't mean they're
They're
go.
the great- I
Hey,
got
but
you, I
they-
got you.
but they names will everybody's name I think will be brought up.
Right.
Yeah.
Whoever brother said who they like, I think they named with some capacity today. So
I
I'm
thought
good
you was
with
going to hit me with the Mark Price, Craig Elo being from Cleveland. But
I mean, Mark
it.
Price
He
was
could've
that
said
guy,
Ron-
though.
He could have said Ron
Ron
Harper.
Harper,
Yeah.
yeah.
Ron Harper.
He could have went Ron Harper. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Alfie,
Mike
what you
Mitchell
got
if
over
you
there?
old school.
What you got over there? Your favorite NBA players being y'all from Cleveland?
I'm going to be completely honest. I'm not the biggest fan of the NBA, but if I had to pick somebody, it would have to be.
Just go ahead
Go
and
ahead and say Jordan.
say LeBron. Just go ahead.
Any artist out there want to
You know what?
and want to stay a star.
We'll say LeBron.
about the executive producer trying to be
We'll say
All in the
LeBron then,
video,
because he's the one that brought the
all on
title
the
home
record.
to Cleveland. So
dancing. Come to Death Row.
he kept his promise. Thank you, Promise Keeper.
All right, I got you.
He did, though. He did, though.
He kept the promise. My favorite I ask myself is going to be Kobe Bryant, but
Okay.
we'll get into that later on.
Kobe?
So before we get into
That's
the
respectable.
whole greatness and GOAT and what have you, let's talk about what's going on presently.
Mm.
The NBA Finals.
Ooh.
The Boston Celtics have a 1-0 lead over the Golden State Warriors. Coming back from a 15-point deficit.
In the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steph Curry starts off with a 21-point first quarter,
Then what happened?
which why I'm leading into that because
The smirk on your face.
your boy out of Cleveland, Matthew Dellavedova,
Yup.
made a comment.
Facts.
Yeah. Who?
Made a
Deli.
comment. He said Steph Curry will hit every shot when Golden State is up 6 points.
Facts.
He will not hit a bucket at all when they are down 2 or more.
Can I please get it?
And it's facts.
Can I please jump in on this?
Go ahead.
Dellavedova is out of bounds. First of all, he's severely out of bounds. If everybody's memory is vivid, I can go back to Game 5
Yeah.
when he had Dellavedova backpedaling like a SWAT cornerback. Nobody talks about that now from
SWAT.
conversation.
SWAT
That's our
cornerback.
conversation. I'm talking about Jackson State, Mississippi
Yeah.
Valley Alcorn like
Yeah,
that. I
yeah.
ain't go backpedaling like that.
Okay.
Steph gave it in,
Hey, don't
and
get
I
Coach
hit him
Prime
with 3.
coming at us.
But I'm just saying, I'm saying old school, but I'm saying that to say Steph Curry has a lot of people don't like his impact on the game.
Yeah.
He's a great ball player. Let's not discount that. Now, me watching the game, I'm thinking Golden State was going to take care of business. And the scary thing for that now is that Tatum only scored 12.
Absolutely.
Right.
That won't happen tomorrow night.
Okay.
Tatum will probably get 12 in the first quarter. They're going to make sure they feed him. But you had other guys who, like, I told my nephews before the series even started, it's going to come down to Jordan Poole or Derek White. I think everything else evens itself out. Mm-hmm. But if you go like the way they play, if Poole can't get better, because Poole, he played crazy. Mm-hmm. He do a lot of stuff for the crowd. Just play basketball, bro. That's what you're here for.
Right.
So to me, if Boston wins tomorrow night,
it's a wrap.
But can you really say it's a wrap? Because they always say the old adage is, it's not a series until somebody loses at home, right?
Which they did in game one.
Well, it's a series now. That's the case.
You're right. I'm just.
My thing.
You like Golden State?
So for me personally, on our show, I had picked when it was down to the Final Four in both conferences.
Okay.
I said whichever teams won those 2 games. I said those when it was down to the final 8. So when we were in the semifinals, I always said the winner of Milwaukee and Boston will represent the East, and I always said the winner of Memphis and Golden State will represent the West. Okay. So for me, I'm a Pacers fan, so I have no dog in the fight.
Old school, no problem.
So for me, Golden State is the better team. They have more weapons, and as far as whatever Klay Thompson does, Klay Thompson is the linchpin for the Warriors. So if he goes and he's clicking, everybody else is clicking.
So, I mean, I hear exactly what you're saying, Bakari, and I do agree with that. I don't think Klay right now is the Klay we saw
he don't have to
4 years ago. He doesn't have to be because they do have.
But you look back at the previous series,
right?
He was knocking down his shots on a consistent basis, and he was playing pretty decent defense. Mm-hmm. So, full disclosure, I fell asleep on game 1. These late ass start times you get my old ass. Look, damn, 9 o'clock. Oh, man,
getting kind of late.
Trying to stay up. I'm like four quarter. They were up. I was like, it's a wrap. Let me go see. I wake up, I hear hooping and hollering. But so that's just for me. Now, it's not going to be a blowout series because Boston is a good team,
and they're not scared.
They're not.
That's something else too. They got dogs that's going at them like Horford hit 25. Not
right.
That again.
So who the hell is Al Horford?
Right. So people like Horford and Marcus Smart. When you got them two, because you think about it, Jaylen Brown, Tatum gonna get theirs, Curry gonna get his. Excuse me. Draymond's gonna do Draymond. Klay Thompson's gonna get his shots. If he's gonna hit him, he's gonna hit him. Jordan Poole's gonna come in and do what he needs to do. But when Marcus Smart is knocking down 3-pointers and playing good defense, they're tough to beat.
Yeah. But if you stay with the flow of the game, everybody had their quarter or their 6-7 minute where Curry played lights out in the first
half.
No, first quarter because he didn't score in the second. He scored 2. But the same said that Tate, like you said, Smart got off in the first. Jaylen Brown got off in the second. Mm-hmm. Third quarter, Derek White took off.
Then Horford in the fourth.
Then not to mention, Pritchard hit a couple of threes. Mm-hmm. Grant Williams hit a couple of threes. So it was a collective team effort. And the thing with Golden State is when they normally, in the back of the day, when they were running the third quarter, they knock you out.
They will knock you out.
So you can't come back from it. But Boston showed me they got a lot of fight. Mm-hmm. And for me, Golden State, and they run a step on them they pick and roll to him, so he getting banged. They beating him up. Yeah. And them boys look like that age.
They're a little bit
we all have dreams of playing basketball, but when you get to the point that age that win ain't the same.
Yeah.
You got to
that number looking crazy right now.
Can I ask you all this question? You've never seen a fourth quarter like that in NBA history.
I thought this was a podcast where the producer won all up in the.
So I mean, it's cool, but I'm
asking a question. So, with that being said, what's the likelihood of having a 40-point fourth quarter?
Well, when you making your three, they had 9 threes compared to Golden State had 7 field goals.
Yeah.
So put that in perspective. They were hot, but Steve Kerr, somebody from Golden State got to help Curry tomorrow. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they got to try to go get Tim Hardaway, Miss Richmond. They got to go get somebody to help them tomorrow. Because if not, I'm telling you, it's
over. Well, here's the key
Friday,
in my opinion.
They're going to close the door Friday.
The key to in my opinion, is Andrew Wiggins. Wiggins he didn't play bad at all, but they went away from him. You get so caught up in the Curry scoring 21 points and making sure that he gets this and Klay gets his shots. And if Klay's not knocking down his shots, the alternative to Klay is to bring in Jordan Poole.
Right.
Before coming to Golden State, Andrew Wiggins was a true number one.
Play Kuminga.
I don't like his game, man.
Not man like the game, but he's a body that you could throw in front of them athletes they got out there. Mm-hmm. You got to match what they got. You can't sit on it. Steve Curry didn't call a timeout. And I think, to me, he got cute. We up 15. Guys, this is over. And when they just kept swinging, he's like, well, I don't know what to do.
But you got to think, if you bring Kuminga in, that takes away your scoring prowess, and then it kind of slows the game down a little bit, which Golden State does not want to do. Okay. Boston wants to slow this game down. If Golden State can run up and down the court, they want to shoot as many threes as they possibly can, whether they hit them or not. That's what they want to do.
But once again, with that being said, respectfully, we all have been 15, 16, run all day.
Yeah.
When you 35, 33, 34,
that clock,
you don't move
tanking.
Like you used to.
That tank ain't
so you're going to need to get that break.
45.
It's
51.
Yeah.
So
it's a little bit different with, and once again, disclaimer, I am an Indiana Pacers fan. Right? So I don't want nobody to think I'm out here caping for Golden State.
Yeah.
But they have a nice mix of youth and veteran help. And so what part does having that championship pedigree or having that experience plays in with Golden State? Because we seen what Boston went off, right? Fourth quarter came back.
Yeah.
What did they do against the series in Miami? They were up and down. Like Miami, that series was every game somebody was getting blown out.
Right.
So how many times have we seen Boston come back and not play good the very next game? And how many times have we seen Golden State lose a game and then come back that very next game?
Well, let me say this. Tomorrow will be, if Golden State wins tomorrow,
it's a series.
It's a series, but they got to win. Cause see, you can have the mindset, if you Boston, we did what we came to do.
We got one.
Playing with house money, so we can go ahead tomorrow. We can get our doors blowed.
We just got to win them all at home.
That's it. We go home. It's 1-1. So that's why I think that the pressure's definitely on Golden State. But when you look at Boston, the mindset they got, they've played, and then they've beat. Their road has been tougher.
Right.
Golden State beat a banged up Denver team.
Memphis.
A banged up Memphis when Ja got hurt.
Yeah.
And a one-man show in Dallas.
Yeah. And that was brutal.
Right. Boston swept KD and Kyrie.
Right.
Now Middleton didn't play, and I got a part of mine said, "What do you think would happen if Middleton would have played? Then I think Milwaukee probably would have won." Just being for real.
Okay.
But your road for Boston was much tougher than Golden State. I think sometimes we have to look at a lot of stuff falls for certain teams as they make their path.
Right.
Are we ready to anoint Golden State as the new dynasty? Or is Boston gonna come in and say, "Hey, we got something to play for too"?
Yeah.
And I think what Bakari was saying with Golden State and their championship pedigree.
Hey, what's up, Tasha?
They do have that, and I can't take that away from them. But that's not to say that Boston don't have experience, because Tatum's 5th year in the league. This is his 4th Eastern Conference. Well, he went to the Eastern Conference Finals 4 years, and this is his first finals. So I mean, he's one game away from being in there.
One series, and Tatum, and neither one of them are 25 yet.
Exactly.
They got time,
and they got young legs. We have not. Don't discount that. Al
Horford,
I mean,
we talk about young legs. I mean, it's like we see in football, like with the Chiefs and with the Bucks and any of those teams that make long runs in the playoffs, and then come back the next year. They don't seem to have as much because they played extra basketball or extra games. Golden State ain't made the playoffs in the last 2 seasons. So how fresh? We not talking about, like, besides Curry, you can't even say Klay Thompson played a lot of basketball because he was injured.
Hurt. He been hurt.
So. And Steph Curry missed a lot of time last year, and
he got hurt.
And
this year. So we're talking about other than because they're really not that old. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not LeBron old. They're not damn near 40 years old. They almost 30, a little bit over 30.
Now Steph 35.
But that's still catching.
But that's, 35, I mean, still catching up. Yeah. But
things change at 35.
I guess for me, like you said, if Boston wins tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I go take my nephews. I bet them lunch.
They may get one. It's going 5.
I got to feed them
because Golden State's going to get one.
I actually had when the series started. I actually said that it would be Golden State in 5 games.
I said 6.
I actually did. I said you said 6. I said it would be Golden State in 5
Car?
Because I felt like Boston wasn't. They were kind of banged up, like you said, and I felt like that Golden State had more weapons. They had more shooters, and they had people that could go lights out. But watching that game before I fell asleep, so I understand where you at.
It's 10:45, man.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I started looking at the clock like, man, it's getting kind of late.
That couch started feeling real good. I'm already laying down at 9:30.
So watching that game, I realized, okay, it's something crazy. Then I wake up in the morning, I look at Sports Center, I'm like, well, who the hell is Al Horford?
Going on, Craig.
Where they got him from in the middle of the game? You know what I mean? But
he started shooting, had the
yeah,
guy going, ow.
Yeah.
Al gonna give you one game of series.
There's something else too. Did you see the amount of fans that Boston had out there?
Oh, they were
They were deep.
Yeah, they was deep. Yeah.
They were deep out there. I'm like, man, that's. Yeah. But like I said, I'm hoping we get a little fight out of Golden State tomorrow. We get a better series.
Now, I think the one thing people are underestimating, because he hasn't been there for quite some time, if Golden State had a healthy Weissman in there as well, they're getting beat on the boards, as well as, and they say he's available now, but Gary Payton coming back. So
all of them back, all of them healthy, all of them were cleared to play Thursday.
They were cleared to play, but I mean, I don't think Peyton's going to be a threat. He might just be a body out there to shadow Brown.
Put in front of somebody, but you got to slow them down. Because what they doing now, when they rotating the ball with them threes, somebody they and the ball are moving quick, real quick.
Right.
They getting rid of the ball. So whoever's got the ball, they knocking it down. So I mean, it's just. I don't want to feed my nephew, so I just hope Golden State win. I'm holding on to that. I don't want to take my nephews out. I don't want to feed them. So yeah, if I can what you call a hold on to Golden State, I'll be good.
Well, you got to take them.
We got a $15 minimum, so probably
$15 minimum.
Hey, listen, hey, I'm married. I don't keep money like that.
The way inflation is, $15.
Hey, Fred, you can go to Fred.
Y'all going to PDQ?
We go to Fred.
PDQ. Now we go to PDQ. Get that man a 3-piece tender box.
Let the boy get loose at Fred's. We'll do that.
Yeah. Hey, they could go how they want
before 3 o'clock on a Tuesday.
I tell you, I'm married. I ain't got no money. So.
Tell me about it.
I ain't got it.
I ain't got
it.
So while we're talking about the finals, we got Steph Curry. Let's talk about the man's legacy if he does win this finals.
Greatest shooter of all time.
He's already that.
Yeah.
That's his legacy.
But
and a champion.
So you don't think that winning this championship, which will be a 4th ring for him,
nope,
and maybe a finals MVP, propels him to go a little bit further in the top 10, so to speak?
Where is he at in the top 10?
Well, according to ESPN, when they listed the top 75 of all time, he's at number 16.
He can make top 15.
But I mean,
10 to 15.
I'm kind of like Bakari, because when you say top 16,
he gonna move to 15.
I gotta see the 15 in front.
Exactly.
If you give me the 15 in front, then let's try to work.
John Havlicek is like number 8. Or
but let me say this, and I told Solomon before he came on, I can only talk about players that I saw.
Right.
I didn't see basketball in the early 70s. I remember Willis Reed coming through the Garden limping. I didn't see that. I saw Dr. J did the dunk on Bill Walton. That's more me. 78 up to now. We can talk hoop.
I mean, but
I can't Havlicek, Bob Cousy. I didn't see them play.
You could always look at. We all.
All right, real quick. So we have some context to it. I'm gonna name the top 15 ahead of Steph Curry.
Okay, and start 15, and we
15
go from there.
All right, hold on a second. Hold on.
Shannon got that same thing pulled up.
Yeah.
So at 15, we got Moses Malone.
Yeah. He can go in front of Moses.
He can go in front of Moses.
Now Moses won twice with two different teams.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But 4 chips, and Moses only got one.
One Moses, the first one of the first ones to get drafted out of high school.
Yeah,
out of high school. Okay.
4.
14, Dr. J.
Yes.
His impact, Jay's impact may keep him, but for his legacy, I put Curry in front of him.
Well, you got to think also. You got to put Dr. J's ABA career as well as NBA.
But that they ain't gonna even count that.
That they won't count it. So I mean, if that's the case, we'll put Steph get in front of Jay.
13, Olajuwon.
My favorite center, but Elijah only got 2. He get in front of him.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, we have a conversation because he won.
So what is it? So are we talking about like all time? This is all time.
Yes.
Okay.
Because Steph don't the one that won unanimous MVP. What's up, say? I mean, everybody voted. It was him and nobody else. It was battle for second.
Okay.
So he skipped Dream.
Yeah.
Number 12, KD.
He can jump. He definitely can jump KD.
So and I want to get to that real quick because of the whole Kevin Durant, Draymond Green going back and forth. Where Draymond gives Durant his props for getting MVP in those finals, but says that Steph Curry saw probably 5-6 more times double teams than Kevin Durant did.
Yeah,
And Kevin Durant jumped
true.
on and was like,
But
hey, nah, bro.
It's true.
But the legacy for KD is not cemented. KD got to win another one.
Right.
KD
Without
gonna
on his
win
own.
another.
Yeah.
He
On
got to
his
win
own.
another. Where you Batman.
Yeah.
You got to win another. Not Robin. You got to be Batman.
Well, he went
He
to
wasn't
that
even
team and
Robin
became the man on that team.
Because
it was still Steph's team,
Steph,
but
that same
He
thing
wasn't
with D
even-
Wade did for LeBron. He stepped
Nah, he
aside.
wasn't the man on the Warriors when
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was.
he was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he was.
was.
He was option one. Yes, he was.
I mean,
Yes,
so
he
we
was.
really okay.
I don't- I
So
don't
we
feel like
really
he-
gonna say a 7-foot small forward that score that can shoot and score from anywhere on the
Stephen
court.
A would say 6'9" with a 7'6"
6'9"
wingspan.
with a 7'6" wingspan.
Okay.
We really gonna put
Steph ahead of him.
Steph ahead of KD?
Okay, but let me do this. Steph ain't never got swept. Steph ain't never got swept.
That's a team thing.
I mean,
okay, so we're
individual.
going individual.
Hold on,
Okay,
but Steph-
KD got one
hey,
MVP.
so we're going.
Steph ain't never get beat and go and join the team.
That's
that beat
team.
him.
We talking about. We talking about
Guys,
individual.
come on down. Come
right.
on
Talking about
down. We're gonna
individual.
talk hoop. Let's talk
No,
hoop.
no,
Now we
we
got to take
can't-
all the personal.
Yeah, we
take
gotta
who
take
you
that
like
out.
out of
Right.
the equation.
Yeah, you
Break
gotta
down
take
the
that
body of work.
So
Yeah.
so is it
Like
easier?
what you said, body of work.
Is it easier? So if you had to start a team, who you picking, KD or you picking Steph?
Give me Steph. 'Cause I know what he's gonna
You
give
really
me.
gonna take Steph over
I'm gonna
KD?
come tell you know why Steph gonna play. KD do too much other stuff. KD want to pout. KD want to cry.
Yeah, he want to go.
KD
against
will stay
people.
there. He take his ball and go home.
Yeah.
So we talking about these players in their
brush his
prime.
Bro, you asked the question. That ain't gonna change. That ain't gonna change.
It's not gonna change.
You gonna have to quit that. You let me ask you. Can't explain it. You can't send it to me.
Give me KD.
So
You can have KD. I'll put him on you.
KD is Larry Bird that can play
And what-
defense.
And what KD doing right now?
Home.
He home. So what?
I appreciate it.
What? Okay. So when he left the Warriors, what did the Warriors do?
Okay, KD.
They got hurt.
He
They were hurt.
And did they make the playoffs?
No, they were hurt.
He was
It
hurt.
don't matter.
He
So,
didn't
okay.
play
Okay.
when he left.
How many KD won before he got there?
KD didn't
So we
win
do-
none.
okay, then.
So they won one.
Two.
My math
They
is
won. They
basic.
won. They won two.
Okay,
They won one.
They won one. They won one on their own.
They went to two
and then
finals.
they won
Yeah.
two with KD.
Yeah.
So that man doesn't get credit. I mean, okay, we talking
I'm
about
just saying that my math basic.
You're-
one more than
So
zero.
we're split on that one.
you splitting that. So
Yeah.
you taking
Yeah,
Steph.
pull him on me. Pull Steph on me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take him.
Number 11. Shaquille O'Neal.
Nah,
Nah, hell no.
never.
Shaquille is too
Shaq
fucking
got
low
four.
anyway.
Shaq
Low
got
should
four.
low.
Shaq got four.
Shaq should not be 11. Period.
Yeah, that is.
He
That's
weighed
low.
But you
He
going,
weighed
but you
too
Well,
going
we
on.
got to see what the top 10 is.
Go with the 10. Go with the 10.
I
Go with the
guarantee
10.
you, there's like 2 or 3 that we can say Shaq is better than these 2 or 3.
But they're gonna say Havlicek because he won so many.
Right.
Okay, number 10.
Kobe.
Kobe Bryant. He ain't.
Okay,
Kobe
He
Bryant is
can't-
too low.
Kobe Bryant is
Okay,
definitely
Kobe
too low.
did, but Kobe did more. Kobe is more than I take Kobe before Shaq.
Okay,
And I.
You gonna take Kobe before Shaq?
Absolutely.
But I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you why. Had Shaq put in the work, Shaq would have been Shaq would have scored 50,000 points.
You know what? You're right.
And
Because he-
that's what I look at.
He wasn't. He played a lot. So,
Yeah.
he-
So hold
yeah.
on. So we already saying right now Steph is not above Kobe
No.
or
Not
Shaq.
a clue.
Okay.
So the
So
argument
we're
over-
debating the list right now.
Yeah, we're gonna break
So
this.
he's 11. He could be
Yeah,
11.
he'll be 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd be
Who
11.
Steph?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll put him right there with Kevin Durant.
Interchangeable. I can't be mad at it.
I'll put him
That's why I
12.
respect this. Me and McCarthy made up.
And, you know, either way, it don't matter. It don't, either
So
way.
I mean, really, the only reason I would put him
Hold a
there
moment.
is because I look at it like this: producer.
Liz. Give us the Liz.
He's not gonna make it that high up.
Yeah, so we might as well stop because it ain't gonna be there. We're gonna do that when we get into greatest and what have you. But with Steph Curry, I look at it like this: when I first started watching basketball, following basketball, it was Bird and Magic that pretty much had control of the
That
game.
was for me.
Yeah, they ran.
The
That.
game was
started
played below the rim then.
Right.
Yeah.
Michael comes in, takes it, and changes it. Now the game's played above the rim.
Right.
Curry at 6'2", 180 pounds, done changed the way this game is played, where it's back below the rim. We're on fast breaks. Cats ain't running to the basket. They running toward the three-point line.
Yeah, because that changes that
Shots
shot
that I
changes
took
so
in
much.
high school, that if I would have taken these shots,
You'd have been
I would have been on the
Yeah.
end of the bench.
Yeah,
You'd have been on the
pulling
bench.
you.
Exactly.
Ab gonna
I mean,
pull you.
if you making them,
Sit
you
your
don't
ass-
get pulled. But if you consistently making them like Steph,
But McCarty, you throwing up. Listen, you throwing them up. Now you,
but if you consistently making them,
You
your
know?
coach ain't gonna pull you out the game. I
Not-
guarantee you that.
not
you
every-
gotta be
Nah.
consistent.
Look,
okay,
you gotta be consistent.
Okay.
'Cause the best scorer on the team gonna get more leeway than
Yeah, yeah.
than the dude that's coming seventh off
every
the
dude
bench.
in the gym that you walk into today,
Yeah.
high school, age,
They
what
pulling.
have you,
They pulling.
they
Pulling
trying to
up.
pull from behind
They
the
pulling.
three-point
They
line.
pulling.
That's thanks to Steph Curry.
They pulling. They pulling.
So his impact on the
I mean,
Steph broke the game. is what he did.
impact on the game.
And we can discuss that. Like I said, I just look at the body of work And like for me, like Kobe, the work he put in, because we still remember the air balls in Utah. And I still remember like in Indiana when Shaq fouled out. And he just told,
I got it.
Just
calm down.
Chill, relax, I got it. And he was 21 then. So greatness has always been, but he's put the work in. When you hear people tell Kobe stories, it's mind-boggling for the work that he put in to get. He worked to get where he was.
Yeah, so back on Steph, top 10 player of all time. You could have that argument. There's an argument for that.
Because Tim Duncan is number 8.
Oh, Duncan should be high. Duncan should definitely be high for me.
So let's run through real quick.
Okay, go ahead. Go run through it. Go run through it.
We already said number 10, Kobe Bryant. Number 9, Oscar Robertson.
Never saw him play, so I can't get into that.
Get out of there.
But you can have you can still have a perspective on players that you really didn't see. Like I never really saw Tony Dorsett play.
Well, I can tell you he was good.
Right. So I know, I understand. I know and I understand.
I'm gonna call him Clay.
From looking at highlights,
Mama name is Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay.
I never really seen O.J. Simpson play, but I've seen highlights of I never really seen.
But I did see Tony Dorsett.
Yeah, I saw.
So for me, Oscar Robertson, you know, when Westbrook is dropping these triple doubles,
and nobody's done it since
Oscar Robertson.
That eight where Oscar 9. You said 8. Where's 9? 9. Okay.
Yeah.
Number
I'm
8.
Okay with that.
You gonna hold him there?
Tim Duncan should be high.
I'm okay with Tim Duncan.
Number 7, Larry Bird.
Larry Bird
right in the right spot.
Bird is good at 7.
He in the right spot.
Maybe you could probably put him a little higher, but he's fine.
In the right spot.
Here we go. Number 6, Bill Russell.
Bill Russell played a lot. I didn't see him play. I ain't see him play. But he won 11 chips. I give you that.
Somebody should get out there like the
5, Wilt.
Wilt Chamberlain shouldn't even be in there.
Yeah, Bill should be high.
Bill should be held to
Bill should be higher than
Bill should be high. Yeah,
Bill should be higher than
He shouldn't be in there, man.
Hey,
he should be like top 5, or you mean he should be lower?
No, he should be better than Wilt. So Wilt's 5.
I don't see that though.
Listen, if I haven't seen it, it means
I'm
it
saying I
But
don't
that's
see
the
him
skill.
being better than Wilt.
That's the skills versus.
Wilt was averaging 50 points a game for a whole season.
But Wilt in 7 of the 11 championships that Russell has, he beat Wilt in 7 of them.
That's a team thing. We got to stop putting team stuff.
Wilt was 7-1.
Individual
and
players.
the average center back then was 6'6".
And Bill
Russell, not to discount Will, but I mean
Bill Russell, what, 6'9"?
Bill Russell,
6'9",
6'9",
like 30%.
Okay, and he dominated in Wilt Chamberlain.
Defensively, yes.
Yeah.
So Wilt Chamberlain shouldn't even be up there, and Bill Russell should be in his spot.
We may have some Laker fans in here too. So
They changed the rules because of Wilt.
I always take it back to this.
they
If
changed the
you
rules
had a
for
choice, because there is historic.
People up that change rules.
He couldn't dunk no more.
There's historical perspective that we can go back and see these stats. We can look at these numbers. We can also look at whatever grainy video that they got from back then.
Okay.
Are you taking Wilt Chamberlain or are you taking Bill Russell?
Bill?
Wilt.
I'm taking Bill Russell.
I take Bill.
I'm taking Bill Russell.
I take Bill.
Wilt. But you do have to tie those teams.
That's
Some
part of it.
That's part of what makes
That's part of it. That's part of the rhyme. So I mean, you gotta make the song. That's part of the rhyme. So I get it.
All right, so number 5, Wilt Chamberlain. Number 4, Magic Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
Magic W. There's no argument with that. No argument at all.
Number 3, Kareem.
No argument with that.
No argument, but I mean,
I want to hear two. I want to hear who 2 is.
If I had to replace Kareem with anybody, Kobe or Shaq could easily be in that.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting.
Number 2, LeBron.
LeBron should be low.
He should be he should be higher.
No, for me, the debate is, and we'll get into the GOAT talk. The debate is,
You know who
Kobe,
they're going
Kobe
number
or LeBron is number 2
Right.
of all time.
Right.
Who are you taking?
Okay.
I'm taking Kobe.
And we all know who number 1 is.
Right, number 1, Michael Jordan.
Exactly.
Nah.
Well, when
I'm
Dominique,
taking Kobe. I'm
Dominique
taking Kobe.
man, y'all trip. Change the post.
Dominique wasn't even on there.
Show, man. It wasn't Dominique cut the show.
Let's see what Nick was at. Nick was on here. Let's
Yeah,
see where
Nick
he
was low though. Nick was low.
He got to be in the 20s.
Kareem was 3, Clark. Nick was low, but I mean it's cool. Cause
Bakari, your favorite player, Barkley, was at 22.
Hey man, run it.
Yeah, they did have
I can see
Kevin
that.
Garnett won some championships.
KD won a chip there. KD also
KG
MVP.
won some championships.
Barkley won the
I can't
MVP, but KG, like I said, KG played.
And KG came out of high school.
Yeah, but I think
KG
something that hurt
changed the game,
Barkley.
too.
I think something that hurt Barkley that he, after Phoenix, he wasn't the same player.
No,
and then
he
they got
wasn't.
together in Houston. They're like, come on,
They were
Chuck.
supposed to win and
Chuck,
didn't.
y'all tripping like that here.
36 for Dominique.
Yeah,
36?
okay.
Okay.
That's
I'm
high.
okay.
That's high.
So,
But Dominique, if I'm not
with that,
mistaken, Dominique didn't even make the first 50. He wasn't even in the first 50 when they first did the 50
Yeah,
and 97,
Cleveland, yeah.
he wasn't even in that.
So hold on to this.
Go ahead.
Robin ain't-
Because with Dominique
never
being your
showed.
favorite player, I'm gonna bring
He
an
ain't no
interesting
points,
argument
bro.
up a little bit later on.
Rebounds.
So just remember at number
Okay,
36.
Okay, I'm with it.
Greatest player of all time. Look, I don't count no points.
All right, we're gonna take our first
Robin
break.
ain't in there, bro.
This has been the great debate. We're talking basketball. We're gonna come back and get into history, legacy. Gonna get into what you consider greatest versus what you consider the best.
All right.
And
Is there a difference?
yeah, there's a difference.
It's a
There's
huge
real
difference.
huge difference. But we're gonna discuss that in the second segment. So you're listening to His, Hers, and Ours, a real life couple holding real life conversation with real life friends. Great debate going on. Serge, you're gonna take us out. Fabulous. Back on my bullshit.
Flood the streets. Back on my bullshit. Back to back on my bullshit. Matter of fact, that was bullshit. I'm going back to back to back on my bullshit. Do it one time, they gon' think it's luck. Gotta hit them with the repeat. Do it 2 times, they gon' still doubt. Hey, now I got a 3-peat. Gotta flood the streets till they knee deep. Gotta stay woke, can't be sleep. All this fly shit don't be cheap. All these bad bitches that we keep round. Pockets gotta be deep now. Never lose again, living me deep down. Gotta keep winning, it's a clean sweep now. Tell her back it up, you hit 3 beats now. Big truck, little bitch. Call me Greek freak, big bucks, little bitch. Paid in full, little ace, little Mitch. You a Rico, little case, you'll snitch. Not from Chicago, but too shy to speak. Ask where's Waldo, I'm too high to seek. Move like cargo, I do fly every week. Princess in Lagos, Dubai with sheiks. Everywhere I go, new vibe the freak. Told her I'm Drago, you Apollo Creed. Far as high cars go, you guys to me. I'm Murcielago and you dry your feet, nigga. I'm that bull in the hood. New lamb truck, got the bull in the hood. Black and red, looking like the Bulls hit the hood. 23s on, they got the Bulls sitting good. This game 6, this can't miss. Shooting my shot, wrist hang swish. Ice my shit like I just sprained this. Millie plain Jane and that bitch stainless. Look, money talk, shorty speaking this language. Buy her a car, she gon' switch lanes quick. I got shut up money, I don't explain shit. Do you wanna boss up or just change shifts? Pretty little joint and she gets things lit. Baby got a crew on some rich gang shit. PNB and Meek must know this same bitch. If you look in her eyes, man, that shit's dangerous. On guard, on a gang, on bros. No bullshit, you the one, D-Rose. Pass me the Pippin, the long nose. Then it's game over, the horn blows. This the last shot. You tryna be on the team or be the mascot? Wanna be the first lady or the last stop? I'm paying Dwayne Wade, but I flash knots. Whoa. I thought you could've been Jordan. Found out that you wasn't even Ben Gordon. Next one get flued out, I'm keeping them boarding. Like Tony Kukoc, I'm foreign important. Yeah, I cannot bullshit with none of y'all. I got a bullseye on some of y'all. I feel like Michael in 95. Back on my bullshit this summer, y'all.
Can't put him there right now.
Back for segment 2 of His, Hers, and Ours, a real life couple holding real life conversation with real life friends. Today, episode 46 is the great debate, all NBA talk. I got the fellas in here. I got Bakari Robertson from the OG Sports Show, Daryl Newton from the Chop Shop.
What's happening,
as
folks?
always, the church philosopher, the big boy Presidente, Church Sinatra. Yeah, you did.
You threw them all together.
What's up, album?
Hey, it's all good, man. It's doing what it's doing. It ain't doing what I wanted to do, but it's doing what it's doing.
It's a side hustle. Everybody got to have a love and passion for something.
Yeah, I mean, but it's over. You know what I'm saying? We closing in on something else. You know what I mean? And it's all good, baby.
That's what's up. Behind the ones and twos, got the Surgeon General.
Yo!
19 something. When it's dropping, man?
I want to probably drop it around my birthday.
which is
September 28th, so probably end of September.
all right. Okay. Look forward to it. Phenomenal, one of them joints I'll be bumping in the gym. So
That's gonna be on the album.
okay,
19 something is just gonna be the free
it's the
mixtape.
mixtape.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So fellas, getting back into this NBA talk.
I am here too.
Alfie, when you dropping, man?
Next week.
Next week. Okay.
I mean, I saw you on stage, Fat Joe.
Yeah, that's right. That was a lot of fun last weekend. It was hot. So hot.
Joey Crack.
No, it's actually
It was
here
here, Tim.
at WCR.
Man, ain't no Fat Joe. Bone was here last night. I didn't even know
The
that.
thing is, he may not be considered Fat Joe anymore. He might be the artist.
Medium Joe.
Medium Joe.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, Bone was here last night. Thursday night, Tech Nine was here.
Okay.
So
They
have
low
some.
key. They low key with it.
Hitters coming through the city.
I'm going to see Nas and Wu in September, so
There you go. See?
yeah, I'm definitely going to see that.
Nas and Wu.
Yeah, they're gonna be at the amphitheater.
Amphitheater. Yeah, that's a show. I caught them. I don't mean to drop stuff, but I caught Jizza, Ray, and Ghost downtown. I mean, when E-Boy City, when they came, I mean, they went back. I'm talking. They really. That's why I say you got to go see them.
I got to see.
You got to go see them. That's must see.
So when we went over the list of these 75 players, we only got into like 36, 37 of them, but we saw that they span generations.
Okay.
That's difficult to compare generation to generation.
Okay.
What do you guys do when asked to do that? How do you compare those generational, gaps? I mean, how can you compare a LeBron to an Oscar Robertson?
I mean, if you have, I know for me, if you're into sports, you're going to go back and to be respectful of who paved the way for these players now in any sport, you're going to go look and try to get some type of historical perspective.
Okay.
So I know for me, I'll go back and I'll look at highlights. So I'll look at documentaries when they're talking about these players. And so that's just how I do it. And then I look at stats and see where they rank as far as like all time. And then you think about like how the game evolves over time.
Right.
How the game changes from when we say John Havlicek or Oscar Robertson or some of those guys back,
Elgin Baylor,
some of those guys back in the late 60s and the 70s, how the game changed from then to the 80s, and then from the 80s to the 90s, and then from the 90s to the early 2000s, and then the 2000s to now. You have to have some kind of perspective to say, okay, this player, even though he played in that era, he can play in this era, or he can play in that era, or he would dominate in that. Because that one thing people like to bring up is LeBron couldn't play in the 80s or the 90s.
Yes, he
Bullshit.
could.
LeBron
Yes, he
could play in the 80s and the 90s
He played
and dominate.
in the 50s, 40s,
Right.
he played it, yeah.
Shaq-
Generation type player.
Shaq could play.
Shaq wouldn't even be fair.
Shaq would be able to play right now.
Yeah, Shaq, he could.
Those type players, they span generations. It doesn't matter. Magic Johnson could play right now. It don't
So
matter.
let me ask you this: for as dominant as Shaq was in his prime, let's say
Prime Shaq.
last year in Orlando, first 3 or 4 years in LA, how would that Shaq compare in today's game?
Who's gonna stop that Shaq?
Exactly.
Nobody's gonna stop
Nobody's
that Shaq.
stopping
You saw what's his name? Gobert talking crazy. I'm like, what are you? Bro, don't do that.
You look
Don't
at
do that.
you look at Jokic in Denver, winning MVP with these slow ass moves that he's doing.
Right.
You mean to tell me Shaq can't put? Nobody's stopping Shaq.
I
in
think,
any
but I
age.
think so
But
much, too.
the court spreads open for Joker, and so when you have a big man his size who's at the top of the key, who can shoot the three, who can facilitate as well as he does,
Right.
I mean, let's be honest with you, Shaq wasn't getting 12 assists in a game.
But let's think about it. Could Shaq get 12 if
He
he
could
really
if he wanted to, but look at the weapons that surrounded him, though.
Bring it
Right,
in and
so
kick it
Joker's
out.
getting this. I mean, and who without Porter and without
if-
Murray this
so
year?
if you're gonna spread it out, like okay, so I look at it like this: you put Shaq on the block with a Warriors team. So you mean to tell me you really gonna let Shaq go 1-on-1 with anybody in the league because you gonna try to stop these 3
Well,
points?
you got to pick your poison.
Right. So you either you gonna double Shaq, and he's proven in his prime when he's double, he get the ball, he'll make the right pass.
Right.
He's also proved like if you leave him 1-on-1, whoever's behind him, no matter who it is gonna get destroyed.
Yeah.
The only person, and Shaq will tell you this, you've heard Shaq say this in other interviews. The only person Shaq that gave him fits was Olajuwon.
Yep. That's what I was going to say.
That's it.
That's the only person
Dream
that gave him problems.
Dream was
Dream was my all-time favorite stuff.
me too.
I mean, if we had to do if we pick a starting five while we're here chopping it up,
Yeah.
if you do a draft, I
ain't mad at you picking Dream. I ain't mad at you picking Dream over
I would
Shaq.
Dream because his footwork
Yeah.
and just the way he, and I grew up in the '80s. So like for us, everybody was on Big Pat.
Right.
Everybody loved Patrick Ewing the way he did block shots, beat shots. But Dream could put the ball on the floor. He put that shape.
Bring your ass out here.
Yeah, I go back to '95 when they gave Robinson the MVP,
and they should have gave it to him.
And he was just
gave
like
it to him. Yeah,
Kenny Smith said, "Man, just did something too." He never saw him play like that. Like Dream was that dude, man.
So back to what the conversation question at hand. Like you can give some type of perspective, even though you may have never viewed these players before. So you can see, okay, they say he was this way, or I seen this on this document, or I seen old highlights, or I look at the stats and this is where he's ranked. Like Kareem.
Right.
Kareem, he's still the all-time leading scorer, right?
Yes.
Okay. That man ain't played since what, 1988, 89?
So that leads me into, and D, I'm gonna let you get to it, but that leads me into another question where defining greatness or the greatest versus the best. Now with Kareem being the all-time leading scorer, that's great, but you have to look at how many years that Kareem put into the league versus if Michael would have played, Michael would have played 21 years.
Yeah.
What would his stats have been for 21 years?
Right.
Yeah.
What the stats LeBron's putting up right now, LeBron's going into his 19th year.
Yeah.
Obviously, top 10 scorer, top 10 assists, almost top 10 rebounder. I mean, that's never been heard of before. But he's accumulated those stats over 18 years. Had Michael played another 6-7 years, would those stats be comparable?
I think Mike would have got beat up a lot if he played a little bit more, and he would have never saw them numbers.
But he took them 2 years off. Don't discount them 2 years he took off the base.
Exactly.
That's true. I never
Which
I
is
never
another
really
good
count
question.
that.
Go ahead, Rob.
I never. Yeah, the 2 years always a factor. But I'm saying, like, if he took the bangings that he was taking all that time, I think he would have probably saw an injury before he can make 21.
But
I think he would have made the adjustment that Kobe made, where the older he got, the more the jumper became a part of his repertoire.
Right.
But the game wasn't as physical in the mid to late 90s
as it
was in the 80s.
Yeah, that's true.
Because
That's
you
true.
go back in the 80s,
That's
you
true.
had bruisers. You
Yeah,
had
they was getting
guys
beat
that
up.
just going to get 6 fouls. They ain't got to score. They ain't got to touch the ball.
Yeah, they
but
had
I know
that.
coming on defense, I got 6 good ones, and I got to make them work. So, so I just think for the game in the 90s, the game changed to where there was a lot of offense where you had guys run up and down the 80s like track meet and pinball in the 80s. 90s, it was more defense, but not as far as, say, the physicality.
Okay.
Well, you had guys that played good D, lock up and guard, but but I think you had to put in more work. And I think that's what I don't want to jump, but I think that's what separated Jordan, because he evolved through each phase
he did.
of the game. But I'll let you get back.
So-
I don't want to jump ahead.
So GOAT talk, when you talk about who's the GOAT, the greatest of all time, it has to encompass stats,
Agreed.
longevity.
Agreed.
Because Grant Hill played 4 or 5. He played 10. He played in
11 years for
11
Grant Hill.
years, but his prime
A good
was like
7 years.
3,
Tra-
4,
Tra-
5,
Tracy McGrady's
5.
another one.
Right. They were. You couldn't
Couldn't
stop
stop
them.
him.
Right.
So
Imagine both a healthy Tracy McGrady and Grant Hill in Orlando.
right.
That's a good
Now
one.
we're talking about
They
something
definitely
different.
don't get Dwight Howard because they wouldn't have picked that low.
So we're talking about like GOAT status. All that stuff is stats, longevity, and the impact that you have on the game. That's what makes up a GOAT. So yeah, LeBron will never get as many championships as Jordan, but you can't deny his impact on the
not at
game.
all.
I mean, he's
Not at all.
2 away.
Not at all.
He ain't getting to.
I don't think they get to, but
he's not
I
getting
agree. I agree with Bakari. I think a lot of times when you have
That
the
was still.
discussions, that'll
was
seal it.
sealed.
But I think if he breaks, he's going to break the record next year with Kareem.
With
But I
Kareem.
think
Right.
a lot of stuff with LeBron does. He's vilified for a lot of stuff that, like, for example, the moves, because he's a GM.
Yeah.
Let's be clear, he's a GM. So a lot of moves are made. What's up, DB? A lot of moves are made on, it's what he wants as far as the coaches, players. So a lot of people don't like that.
Right.
But just within the court itself, great. I mean, definitely top 2, top 3. No doubt in my mind.
So when do we get into the GOATs?
I want to pose a question to y'all.
Go ahead.
I want to pose 2 questions. Best team in the 90s that didn't win a title?
Easy.
Go ahead. You go first.
Indiana Pacers.
I don't know, man.
Dale Davis, Antonio Davis, Reggie.
Wait.
Rick Smith.
Best team in the 90s.
The Blazers? Blazers ain't in there? You can't put Portland in? You can't put Seattle in there?
You can't Seattle.
Utah.
I put Orlando in there. With Penny?
I mean, on
Penny
Pacers.
and
So
Shaq.
I am biased.
Okay.
I am biased.
Well, that's
I am
own it.
biased.
That's own it. That's love.
I am biased.
You being honest
I am
about that.
biased.
They did have a good team,
But-
though.
But
Yeah, the Penny Shaq Magic.
Yeah, but the Penny Shaq battle, to me, they
ran into the dream.
but not even that. I just think egos hurt them.
Yeah.
You know, egos, because
Young
a lot of
Shaq.
success came. You sit back and think, Penny second in the league, they was in the chill.
Shaq said that
You know,
it was a lot of
egos.
egos
And I
between
think that's
them
what made him learn from when he got with Kobe and got with D Wade. Because you had the preeminent ball player at that time. So to me, like you say, injuries, but I think egos. Orlando's a small town too, and I don't want to upset nobody.
two. It is small.
But when you talk about the egos, because Shaq had his crew,
Right.
Penny had his crew, Shaq doing commercials, Penny doing commercials.
Nike versus Reebok.
Whose team is it?
Yeah.
So then you go into that. But like I said, look, the Pacers were tough. I like the Pacers, but I think
The Stockton Malone
but
Jazz.
them Portland teams were loaded.
Yeah.
And I ain't talking about. I'm talking about Porter, Steve Smith,
Clyde Drexler.
Roscoe, Brian Grant, Bonzi Wells, Sabonis.
Well, hold on. You
No,
talking
that's
about?
two different
Them
Portland
two different
teams.
90 Portland
No.
teams.
You talking about the
Bonzi
ones that
Wells-
didn't beat
you
that
talking
didn't beat
about
the
with
Lakers?
Clyde Drexler.
No, I never said Clyde.
No, I said Clyde.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about
when you
that
said
Clyde, no.
Portland, when you
No,
said
no,
Portland.
I'm talking about late Portland, Greg Anthony.
Oh, so you said
Denver.
90s, late 90s.
So you talking about Bonzi Wells?
Bonzi Wells, Brian Grant, Denver, Roscoe, them boys.
Yeah, because Scotty was on that team, too.
Yeah, he was. But said that was and them Sonic
See,
Seattle was tough.
if you was talking about the early 90s
Yeah,
Portland
the
Trailblazers,
Terry
okay,
Porter,
Terry
Clyde
Porter,
Drexler,
Clyde
Jerome
Drexler.
Kersey.
They couldn't even beat Magic
Buck
in 91.
Williams.
That was an old man.
Kevin
they lost
Duckworth.
to. Yeah, that was an old man until they lost.
That
to.
was
Yeah,
when-
the words of them.
But they come back and beat them the next year.
That's
and
they
then
was talking about like.
it got beat 4-2.
And they was talking about Drexler as the second best player in the league behind Jordan.
I never said that.
Back then.
I never said that.
This man
Like
really,
I said.
brought up and said
Like
the
I said.
Bonzi Wells,
That-
Rasheed Wallace,
Man,
Brian
run
Grant team.
that late 90s team.
The light
Run that
dude,
late
the
90s
shooting
team.
guard.
From who?
That blew his knee
Stoudemire.
out. No, that blew his knee out.
For who?
Oh, Brandon Roy.
Brandon
But
Roy.
that was 2000. That was 2000.
That was 2000s. Okay.
But
Okay,
you
so-
take that 90s, that late 90s team. They run
So
that,
so
they
so
run
your
that.
question was the best team in the 90s
That
did
didn't
not
win.
win, and the best team in the 2000s.
2000.
Are we splitting the 2000 in half?
However you want to do it. I was gonna say the Suns.
Suns.
With Nash, Stoudemire, Marion, and all them, they never won.
Yeah.
I mean, we can agree, disagree. That's what it's for. Pacers were good then too, though.
I mean, if we talking about 2016, 2017, hell yeah.
No, I said, I was saying
Brandon
like
Tyler,
without
2010.
2010.
too.
But with that 90s thing, I'm going to say, like I said, the Stockton Malone Jazz. 60 wins, back-to-back seasons.
Ooh,
Karl Malone, MVP.
I mean, yeah, they put up, but those were Mike's. But I mean, they gave back to back.
And so when we get into GOAT conversation,
okay,
that's one of the things I always bring up. Think of all the Hall of Famers that don't have rings because of Michael.
Early 2000 to 2010, best team that didn't make the playoffs.
I say the Suns. I go with the Suns.
That didn't win a championship.
That didn't win the championship. They didn't win the chip. Some people may like AI. Some people may like.
I was gonna say the 60 teams with AI.
That's
he was so good too. I mean, he was.
We can
really,
say them
really
the early LeBron Cleveland teams, because he carried them.
He did.
Yeah, but that's
Well,
not
were
the
they
team.
good?
That team was garbage.
Yeah.
It's
That
just
team
LeBron
in
was-
07 that team in 07 was they were terrible. And LeBron just he put them on his back. He put them on his back.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
I mean, they
didn't win it.
They didn't win it.
No, they
So
did, but I mean, but to get that far,
Yeah, they
to
got
get
far
that
with
far
just him.
with
With
Jeff Hill.
nothing,
But there was nothing in the
MJ could
East.
never. MJ
I mean,
could
but
never
but
do
you
that.
had, but later you got KG. Them got together, but Boston had Antoine Walker for a couple of years.
But they won.
Then
I
the
mean,
Nets, they won later, but
when
the Nets
KG
had J. Kidd, Richard Jefferson, Kenyon Martin.
They was getting bumped off a lot.
Yeah, they were getting bumped too. I mean, so then the Pacers had it was just. Then the Heat, had their little
Heat
run.
came and
The
got
Pistons,
the
they
Knicks.
Knicks too. Forgot about them. So just like, and I always tell people like, for me, growing up in the NBA, the Knicks need to be relevant. I don't mean to jump something, but they need to
Always
be relevant
need to be
again.
relevant.
They need to be relevant.
Yeah, they do.
Playoff, that's it.
Just the market.
Yeah, that's it. 'Cause that would, you want to see who said at the game, who posted up.
Well, that's what Brooklyn is now. So
Yeah.
Yeah, Brooklyn is that. The Nets now.
Yeah, you really got me thinking the 2000 to 2010 team that didn't win it. That should have won.
I was gonna say the Suns. I go with the Suns.
I mean, they didn't play no defense. Mike D'Antoni's team never.
Now,
played
they
defense.
never do, but they were so fun to watch. They getting up and down though, and Nash go get the ball too. You talk about Stoudemire.
So we're gonna say the most talented team not to win it.
Well, I mean, best. I mean, Javi. I mean,
when did LeBron get his first one in Miami? 09 or 10?
No, 11.
11. Okay, so they out.
Actually,
then.
12.
Okay,
12,
so I was gonna say that
And they
that
won with
OKC
they
team,
won with Wade. Yeah.
the OKC team.
Yeah, well, Harden.
That's 2010
12,
though.
yeah.
2010. They were good. But I mean, but the teams that like, I was never a LeBron fan, and when he went to Miami, I definitely wasn't on them this. I was pulling for y'all. I want to play
I was
with
pulling for us too.
Paul George.
Granger, David West. I still remember the one game he got that layup at the end. I almost threw my remote. I said, "You got to be kidding me, man! How they let him get down? Everybody know for to get the ball." But that's
now we can't keep players. We're just a feeder team for everybody else. A hub.
Yeah,
Tampa Bay Rays.
So what y'all? Now I was thinking we should do this too. Maybe do like if you had to put together a team, who would be your 5? I thought that'd be kind of cool. You put together, you the GM. If you go any era,
Anybody, any era, any age.
any era, but you got to have a 5, and they got to be positioned. You
So
just get your 5.
We'll pose that question. We think about that, and we'll come back in the third segment with that.
Okay.
So we'll give us time to think about it.
Okay.
But since you brought up Olajuwon earlier, and in that year that he should have won the MVP, that they gave it to David Robinson,
Okay.
those were the 2 years that Mike took off.
Right.
Had Michael not taken those 2 years off, Houston versus Chicago in those 2 finals.
I still like Mike. But I'm gonna tell you why. Let Olajuwon get his.
Okay.
Let Olajuwon and everybody else get their water shut off. Cause who else gonna grind?
I mean, you had
He
some
had
guards out
Drexler
there.
on the
You had-
squad.
You had Drexler,
Okay,
you had
Drexler
Vernon
came-
Maxwell,
Drexler-
Kenny
Sam,
Smith.
Sam Cassell.
Okay, now let's talk back.
One Robert Horry on that team too.
Let's take the emotion out. Let's talk back.
Okay.
Let's break this down.
I'm gonna say Mike anyway,
And
so-
Chicago had bodies they could throw at Dream. And not to say they're gonna shut his water out, but they can bang it. They gonna
Longley,
put
Purdue,
Longley,
Rodman.
Winnington. Forgot about him. James Edwards. John Sally was on them. Sally was on them
On the
teams.
team.
It don't matter who you put out there. Hakeem is gonna do what he gonna do.
But
what
it's
he
just
do.
to bang him up and get the foul. They weren't required to score.
Okay, so let's do this then, GM. Who y'all got from Houston gonna stop Mike?
Nobody's gonna stop Mike.
Who gonna slow him down?
No, I mean so
they
you're
wide.
saying so Michael Jordan and Hakeem Olajuwon
Right.
wash each other out.
Okay.
Take
Okay.
them out the equation.
Take him out the
Now
equation.
look at the rest of these teams.
So you got Drexler versus Pippen.
You like
Y'all,
Clyde?
so you mean to tell me Clyde couldn't get 20?
You don't
He was,
think
he
Pittsburgh
was,
got
he was,
20?
he was. Okay, so that's a wash. Cause Clyde's gonna get his.
Okay.
Clyde was getting his in them early '90s with the Portland Trail. He was,
But then what we forget about, they had so much defense. What's up, Courtney, that you could throw? You had, I mean, and I don't want to go into the next wave because that's when you got the Ron Harpers. They locking up.
I mean, Sam Cassell wasn't getting his shots off.
I ain't saying he won.
Kenny
but they
Smith
locking up.
wasn't getting his shots off.
Mad Max.
Vernon Maxwell wasn't getting his shots off.
I
still like Chicago though.
I like.
I mean, yeah, I would
We
like
can
the
agree,
Chicago,
disagree.
but it's you know.
We can agree, disagree, but like
I'm
I said,
not-
but
I'm
I
not
think
gonna say it's
what's
gonna
up,
be
Tony?
Chicago they gonna watch. They
Okay,
gonna run
okay,
out the gym.
wait. It might go. I say okay. Anybody get one? Houston get one. I might even lean that. But
I can see that.
Chicago getting
I
both.
can see
ain't doing
that.
it.
I can see that.
Chicago getting
Because
both.
you think about for Chicago, that would be either 4 or 5 in a row, or 4 and 5
8. It'd have been
years.
8. It'd have been 8 in a row.
Well, we.
If he won
I
two, it
mean,
would have been 8 in a row.
If Michael Jordan never left basketball for those 2 years, could we really say they could have won 5, 6 in a row, 4 in a row? Very strongly. But all that extra basketball, like we talked about earlier, that starts to add up. You playing an extra season.
But that
And
man.
you got. I tell people this: you have to consider like moves that are made
Right.
as well. Had Mike not left and they decided to keep that team together, you got to realize Horace doesn't leave,
Yep.
Yeah.
so that means Rodman's not there.
right.
So it makes a difference.
So we got to.
Yeah. And plus, everybody's going to resign for
Yeah,
as
they
much
gonna
as
play
they can
'cause
get
they
now.
winning.
But think about
They
this
winning.
with Rodman coming in on them teams, that really did change the track.
And we talking about putting a body on Olajuwon.
Yeah.
Then it's gonna bother the hell out of him.
Yeah.
Dennis bothered a lot of people,
Shaq.
especially Karl Malone. He
Karl
bothered
Malone,
Shaq.
and the thing is, he didn't care about scoring.
No, he didn't.
And he was the most nobody. I don't think a lot of people give Dennis Flowers his
Underrated.
just due because he was such a underrated player
Yep.
that scored a lot in college, but became selfless when he
Right.
got to the league. He just get rebounds, Dennis.
Right.
We really gonna sit here and say
Dennis Rodman
Dennis finna lock up Olajuwon.
I ain't saying lock him up, but slow him down.
He slowed him down. He slowed him down.
Whoa.
He slowed him down, bro.
Man.
He like, hold on.
But Bakari, in that same breath, what we gonna say is there's a difference between.
Yeah, you're right.
There's a difference between Dennis Rodman guarding him versus Will Purdue guarding him.
You're right. There's like 6 inches.
Yeah.
And some quickness. I give you that one.
Yeah.
Luke
Lonely.
Cartwright with the elbows.
Yeah, Bill Cartwright.
Did we not see Akeem making these moves at 7 feet tall? And we really gonna say
No.
He's gonna give him problems.
I think he'd have been another body, but I think he would have frustrated him a little bit.
Okay.
And he would have annoyed him.
All right.
Yeah.
Because I would say Olajuwon was one of the most accurate centers that can make their
Yeah.
He ain't care
Right.
He knocked him down.
He's gonna knock that mid range down. He gonna take you at the elbow. Throw you a shape, pump fake.
Yeah.
Go to the
dream
rim.
shake.
He's
He
gonna
gonna
put you on the block.
He
Spin.
gonna do all that.
Reverse dunk.
Yeah.
Dream shake.
Yeah.
But Dream was my
Throw
guy,
that hook.
man.
Hey man. Hey.
was
Dream
my
had
guy.
a whole bunch of stuff in this.
He did.
Hey, let me throw this
He
out to
did.
y'all so we having GOAT conversation. A guy, and let's take away. We talked about Grant Hill, we talked about T-Mac, and you brought up Brandon Roy. Let's bring up somebody else that, if we got to dig deep into it, injuries derail what they could have been. Is there anybody you think about like man, if he
The guy who I told them that a name
Hardaway?
and they didn't know who it was, and I said you would validate it.
who?
Bernard King.
Oh my God, stupid. Bernard
King.
Who was that?
Stupid.
Exactly. See what I'm saying?
Man, pull up Curtis Blow basketball. He got his name on there. Bernard King was giving out
When you
words.
pull up this highlight, is the Harlem Globetrotters thing song I'm playing on this highlight?
No, absolutely not, man.
Man,
Bernard King was
Bernard King was a 28, 29 point scorer in the league in the mid 80s.
Okay.
But drugs derailed him. He had a very tough injury. When
The knee injury and
the
then-
ACL back like in '84 was like you can't play.
You can't play no more. Yeah.
That's it. That's
Ain't
on
no surgery
85.
to fix it.
Yeah,
So
you gonna
he
be
came
out.
back from
It
that,
took him a
and then
couple
he get
years.
hooked on drugs for
And he
the
made
painkillers.
the All-Star team in '90.
So we taking T-Mac. We taking Trey. We taking.
I'm just gonna. We
Grant Hill out.
already brought them up. We already brought them up.
Okay.
So I'm
You
just
could
saying.
say Penny.
You can't say
Definitely,
Penny.
I would say Penny.
I was saying Penny Hardaway. That was the
Penny
name
one.
I said.
Penny was
Hardaway.
one, but I just think that egos, and that was my first introduction to see egos amongst teammates, because everything was set up for them to be great.
I'm gonna keep it real as a Pacers fan. Danny Granger.
That was
Danny
one.
was nice.
Granger was solid. Granger was tough. I was on them heavy. I used to like Granger, but I think that what hurt. I think with Indiana that they were never the best team, and that's always, even like in the '80s, they were never. Even like in the '90s, trying to get there, they weren't better than the Bulls.
Not too many people respect the Bulls.
The Malice in the Palace.
That team was number one in standings.
Won a championship.
They had
They had a chance, but they didn't. They lost to the Pacers. They lost to the Pacers the year before.
But that was.
They got derailed.
Before that brawl, before they ran into the stands, they had the league.
They had the best.
They were the best. They were the best team in
It
the
sets
league.
you up regular season, but what do you do come postseason?
Yeah, but for me, they had Reggie played through all of it. Reggie's another one that don't get a lot of his just for what he did.
Second best shooter ever.
Reggie was a great ball player, but I think everybody remember Reggie.
He moved third.
Third,
Ray Allen.
Ray Allen.
Let me say that. I think Ray Allen's biggest thing was the shot in 2013.
Ray Allen don't hit that shot in 2013. What are we talking about?
We talking
Then Ray Allen scored 8 points in 8 seconds.
But like you said, but if he don't, but like you said. But if he don't make that shot, then Duncan got 6 chips. Then where do you put Tim Duncan?
Exactly.
Tim Duncan is where what was Tim Duncan on? Like 7?
No, I'm saying, but he would be
But
6-0.
with another championship,
He would
and
be
then he's
6-0
undefeated.
like Mike.
Yeah.
He'd be
He was
6-0 like
undefeated
Mike.
too.
He hadn't lost.
He ain't even.
And I'm telling you so
So
funny about Tim
the
Duncan.
separating part in that would be Finals MVPs, because Kawhi gets his, Tony Parker has his.
Yeah,
Duncan
got
don't
a
have
couple.
6. So
He got a couple, but I think the thing about Duncan is that he had that quiet game. Like you could watch the game, eat food. He had 27-15. Like, man, I ain't.
How he got that?
I ain't got 27.
If we go position by position, he's if top power forward or center. He's in the top 3.
I knew he wasn't good when I saw him at weight.
Yeah.
I remember just seeing him at weight. You know, he had that bad hairline when he was in college, man. Duncan, he
Still
get a
bad
barber
now.
or something. Yeah, he got a little more hair now,
Still
but like I
bad
said, he was
now.
giving out work in ACC though. But I think that you know, like you said, the Pacers had good runs. They had great ball play. I just think that after the fight, it just wasn't because you had Jermaine O'Neal who was that guy.
Yeah.
He was Jermaine O'Neal was that guy. You know, and he was in that era. Like I think we had a lot of bad boys that played the 2000s. You know, had that edge to them. So you had that.
So do you think that as a Pacers fan, do you think the Pacers team that was involved in the Palace at the Malice at the Palace versus the Pacers team that actually got to the finals against the Lakers, which team was better?
The fight.
Yeah, they had
fight.
had Ron Artest.
The fight, yeah.
They had
But I look at
Jermaine O'Neal.
them Davis boys. They
Antonio
weren't
Davis.
offensive.
So that was 2000 they went?
They were 2000 when they lost to the
2000
Lakers.
yeah.
In 2004
Yeah.
when they had the fight. So that
Yeah,
been
the fight
04-05. So that was 4 years later.
Yeah, the fight
So
too.
Reggie was still there, but you had like
That's
Jalen
an
Rose.
older place. That's an older
Yeah, Jalen.
Pacer team.
man, them young boys were getting to it though, Solomon. Them young boys were grinding.
Jalen, Rick Smits.
Man, okay, Jermaine O'Neal, Artest.
Tinsley.
Then you had Tinsley. Tinsley out there grinding. They had a couple guys on the bench that hoop. Reggie Miller was still
Bridges
hooping.
was on the team.
Yeah, but I
Stephen Jackson played on
and
that
Steven
team, too.
Jackson.
Yeah, so hey,
Yeah.
that team is that's
Yeah.
ain't no question.
It's a toss.
Ain't no question.
They definitely
Like
wanted
that
to
from a Pacer
they
fan.
definitely
I'm
they
gonna tell you
definitely wanted
this.
to fight. Had they fought,
Talking
they
about
definitely would.
that team that lost to Miami. I think that Pacers team with Hibbert, Paul George,
Granger.
had he not got hurt. But anyway, your boy that's playing with Milwaukee right now. What's his name? A light skinned dude.
Oh, George Hill.
George
Hill.
George Hill. He
That team was a
C.J.
better-
Watson.
That team was a better team. That Pacers team was better than that. 2000.
There's another team we can talk about. Them 2010, Derrick Rose, them Bulls.
Yeah.
They were tough.
Now
A
you
lot of
talking
people
about a
don't-
player before he got hurt.
Yeah, Derrick Rose.
Forgot about
Derrick Rose. You already slept on him.
forget
Derrick
about
Rose.
Derrick Rose never gets hurt.
Yeah.
We're having it's a whole different league.
Derrick Rose a problem.
I agree.
whole
Derrick
different
Rose was a
league.
problem. He was a problem.
I said that Derrick Rose was the second coming because if like y'all say, if he didn't get hurt,
He had bounce. I mean, he had it. He had it. I mean, and the thing was,
Derrick Rose is a John Morant before John Morant.
yeah,
I get it.
Yes.
I get it. Because
Yes.
I look
Before
at
John Morant.
I look at the teams that they had with the Bulls. They weren't scared of Miami. They just had a talent. But they definitely weren't intimidated. Because they had Ding, Boozer, Noah. They going at them.
right.
Taj Gibson, but they just didn't have enough
Didn't have
Gordon
enough.
to where they could beat them.
You're talking about somebody who fell off quick.
Who's that?
Ben
Gordon.
Gordon.
Yeah, Ben Gordon.
Yeah.
Like 3-4 good years, and then
Yeah, but I'm telling you, I think with that being said, the league is so competitive. You got guys that the game has changed so much
Ben
now.
Gordon like
Where
crying
you
or
could
some
you
shit.
could be
Like a
that
baby.
guy, and if you don't keep working, you
Fall
gone.
off
I mean, you
easily.
like you like who's that? Like
Take your crying ass.
that's just
home.
saying that's the crazy. Where like I look at it now, and I hate to say this, but I think the Suns done shot their load. I really.
Oh, that's
believe
it.
I think that's it. That run
Yeah, that's
is over.
it.
Okay.
I don't think they're gonna be. They won't be not to say because the West. I look at the West where the Lakers gonna get back. I don't know what they're gonna do. They're gonna make some
Absolutely
moves.
not. Absolutely not.
Okay,
Anthony
they'll be
Davis
back.
can't stay.
But-
Westbrook and
but that
LeBron
may not
won't
be-
coexist.
But let me say this.
Plain
I threw
clothes
this out there.
Davis.
I threw this out there. But just if LeBron's gonna have to make moves,
Man, LeBron, he
let me say this. Let me finish what I can.
yeah.
Because you got so much now is in the West. Like
Get Kyrie.
You got Donovan, and I said that too. People laughed at me.
Get
Send
Kyrie.
Kyrie to Brooklyn.
Get
I mean,
Kyrie.
send Kyrie to LA and
Yeah.
send Westbrook to Brooklyn.
I
Yeah.
don't think Kyrie and LeBron can coexist any longer.
Yeah, they can.
Kyrie,
Yeah, they can.
Kyrie will play.
said he want to play. with
Kyrie-
him.
will play.
Kyrie is an organization killer
I ain't gonna say that, man. I just think that
Why
he.
you think that?
because they could have ran it back again in Cleveland.
That's true.
They had a squad in Boston.
Yeah.
He had a threesome in Brooklyn and then pissed James Harden
But
off.
see,
But Harden didn't want to
okay,
play with him.
but I'm telling you what's changed now, though.
So you think he pissed Harden off?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's
I came here to play with you, and now you're
that's
going to pull this
that's
COVID
reason he left.
bullshit?
But I think something else too though is that
I got you.
perfect example. We sitting here talking. We got it's too many homeboys that want to play together now.
Thank you.
and then that's
Who's
what
responsible
it
for
means.
that?
enough.
Right.
LeBron.
Huh?
Who's responsible for that?
LeBron.
Well, I mean, you go Boston when they went and got KD.
They weren't homeboys.
Okay, well, so then Miami. Okay, then Miami. Then. But my
Okay.
thing is, I want to play. I don't want if me and Bakari come in the draft together.
Mm-hmm.
That's my partner. We done got drafted. He third. I'm fourth. I want to beat Bakari.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to beat Bakari.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe if I'm 8 now, I done made me some money.
10, 11 years
10, 11
in.
years, man, we should hoop together for it. Let's try it.
Mm-hmm.
We done made the money. You know, we ain't won that, but let's try it. Let's give it a shot and see. But I think when
We
LeBron
ain't
done
won
made-
nothing. No,
was
he
the
don't
Boston-
want something, and
that
you
was-
ain't won nothing.
Yeah, so
That
now
was a Boston thing.
right.
No, that wasn't Boston. That was a GM saying, I'm doing my job, putting the best team together I possibly can. This is a superstar who's supposed to be, quote unquote, the chosen one, saying, I can't get past Boston. They
I'ma
keep
go
whooping
there.
my ass every year. My homeboy got his already down in South Beach.
Lies.
My homeboy got his already. Hey, you know what?
Lost to
He-
Boston one
Detroit is
time.
giving me the
Hold on.
business.
Detroit giving me the business. Hold on. It's this cat up in Toronto who's pretty nice. We can get him to come down too.
Chris.
Yeah.
Come on.
And all of them took less money. And all of them took less
Let's
money,
play
less
together.
money to play together.
That whole thing, Chris Boston won and got the ass whooping on the ass end of the stick of that whole thing.
Basically.
You know what I mean? You don't hear him, you don't see him, you don't.
But I
nothing.
think-
he
but I
got
think
what he
with-
wanted out of it. He
with
got
Crib,
paid, he got
he
championships.
got him a couple chips, but I
but
think
they left him by himself.
Burger King or something now?
no,
Man, he living life, man. He
Yeah,
living.
Boston living. But I
Nah.
think that's what when you put that homeboy element into it, I think that kind of destroys what it because now it's like, okay, well, we clicked up. It's two of us, but we got 13 teammates. But with Bakari, you get 25, I get 25. But
We don't care about everybody else as long as we win.
You know what I'm saying? I don't care what they do.
It still takes a team. I mean, you can
You gotta have a
always
team
come
effort.
together. You can always put people together, but you still got to build those pieces
Right,
around.
but I got a
That's
partner
why
of
LeBron hasn't. That's why LeBron didn't win this season last season.
So when
Yeah,
we
right,
say
that's fine.
when we define greatness versus best, like I was leading up to, no doubt LeBron's great, no doubt Jordan's great, and what have you. You think LeBron? In my opinion, it does. But I'm gonna ask you, fellas.
Go ahead.
Do you think LeBron's legacy takes the hit because he had to coerce those teams together?
Absolutely not.
You don't think so?
His legacy is where his
think
legacy is.
His legacy cemented, but I do believe the 2 sweeps and the 2 4-1s bring him down a peg as far as just, when you go through the body of work, because even like the Lakers lost the Detroit 4-1, I didn't see that coming. And I'd be the first to admit that you think
But
about
also
it now.
think about Detroit with the first team ever to have 5 All-Stars.
They were, but looking at the work that they put in against the Pacers, I'm thinking in my mind, this is going to be, there's nobody, because I didn't think Ben Wallace would guard Shaq. I was wrong about that. And then I didn't think they would make Kobe work like he did on defense, but they did. So I went into that wrong. But I sit back and think about it now. Detroit, kind of similar to what we're talking about with this series we got now. Detroit
Was a better
battle-tested,
team.
better team. So you can have the
Versus
names.
just Shaq and Kobe.
Yeah, you can have the names, but like I say, but you got when you get out there, you got the who, and that's what I think that's what separated. When I think about that series now, if Kobe don't hit that 3, they get swept.
They get swept.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about that, but I just think LeBron, his legacy has already been cemented.
Yeah,
he ain't got to do that. If he stopped playing, he ain't got to play
for
no
me.
more.
For me, he may not be the greatest player of all time, but he's in that You can argue it.
Oh, he's definitely in the conversation.
argue-
But I think his impact is bigger than anybody's.
Facts.
For what he's done
LeBron
in the
has
league
impact,
and for the league,
and he don't care.
and he's unapologetic for what he's
don't
done.
care.
Like
He's
I
the
said,
first.
he's done a lot
He's
of
the
stuff in
first.
the
He's the
community.
first active billionaire.
billionaire.
Yeah, active billionaire. And you talking about a kid like he talked about, his environment. They paid $17 for rent. You sit back and think, and this is something that we saw. This was 20
Growing
years
up,
ago.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You sit back and think that's 20 years ago.
So we talk about
Some people still paying that $17.
So impact of the game. I mean, no doubt that LeBron has given the power back to the player, taking
Yeah,
it away from
absolutely,
ownership.
absolutely.
So I mean, he does get kudos for that. We're in a generation now that everything is instantaneous. Social media,
Microwave.
internet, what have you.
Microwave.
Microwave era.
TikTok.
Once again, this is
A knick-knack.
comparing generations.
Okay.
There was no social media.
Had Michael played in a social media generation, an internet generation. I mean, think of the impact that he had globally without that. I mean, literally, the number one shoe franchise of all time, you could say is Mikey, not Nike.
People may disagree when I say that, but I don't think he would have had the same impact.
He wouldn't have.
And I'm gonna tell you why. Because nowadays, see, the game has changed so much. Like back in the day, you went out and hoop.
Right.
You hoop. Yeah. But now you got guys that I want to shoot three. All I want to do is just shoot threes. All I want to do is shoot threes. All I want to do is work on my hand. I work on my handle. So, but when Mike played, you know, in his great to say, let's go 30 years ago. Mike put in the work, and you know, you see a lot of guys. I don't think the guys work as hard as they do now, because once again, we live in a world where people want likes. Mm-hmm. People live for the like. So I don't think that he would have even, because he's always a very private person, and I think with social media now, it's so much access people get to. I don't think he would have played. Okay. I really don't think he would have just. I don't believe it. I really don't.
Okay, you remember that incident that happened with him where he got sick?
The flu
game?
The flu game. Now
yeah.
Imagine that with social media around it.
Yeah. No. And he said that they was. He said it was food poisoning. He said it was food poisoning.
That wasn't even the game.
That NBC made it the flu.
They made the flu, but they say it was food poisoning.
Yeah.
You know, so you
but
think
imagine that now.
Right, exactly. So, and you know, with the access that people have to you now, you know, it's like you. I don't think Michael would have. I don't think
somebody on Mike's team would have got pissed off about it and said something on social media about it.
Absolutely.
I mean,
I believe that.
I look at it like
somebody
this.
in the crew circle, and then something else too. I'm in the jump y'all.
No, go ahead.
Now everybody has entourages.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that's to me that's too much.
Yeah.
You play basketball, just play ball. Like for example, if I'm your partner, you make it. Hey D, you know, hey man, I got tickets for y'all when I come to Orlando. Okay, son, let's go. Simon playing. I'm gonna take a picture with you. Hey, good luck, keep playing. Exactly. But I ain't finna be like, hey, look, I'm gonna quit my job.
I'm following you around.
I'm with Solomon. Solomon done made it. So hey, look, we going to clubs. You know, we kicking. And I think that's what. And that goes back. And I'll be the jump shot. But I think a lot of guys feel they owe people when they make it,
and they don't.
And you don't. Cause that's your work. That's your grind.
But that's a tale as old as time. I'm pretty sure when we talk about like having that survivor's remorse or having that guilt to I made it and they still there, so I gotta help pull them up. You don't think Kareem had to do that coming out of New York, coming out of the projects? You don't think Will had that issue?
I don't believe that.
Because them guys weren't making nowhere near the money
they were making.
But for the time, they were very well off as opposed to time.
Thing too. With the social media era, a lot of teams, a lot of players have that podium they could stand on and represent something. Now, back in the 80s, maybe 70s, 80s, you didn't hear that unless it was on the 6 o'clock news. Exactly.
Yeah.
So then that takes it to, for me, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and Michael Jordan, the faces of the league. Because they didn't want the Pistons to be the face of the league when they was running it.
No. Facts.
They didn't want that. So you had those three guys
and they was bad
running the league. Like Bird and Magic started off in the 80s, and MJ took off in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Who's had a bigger globally? LeBron has made an impact socially. He has a global impact because the NBA's reach globally is bigger than it was back then. So LeBron is out there, and LeBron is may not have as many championships as Jordan, but the longevity of which he played at a high level.
I give you that.
But that has to also be taken into consideration, like he just said,
it does.
The access.
It does. Well,
because but if you can say between 88 and 98, that 10-year span, the two top athletes known worldwide, no matter if you followed the sport or not, you knew who Michael Jordan and Mike Tyson were.
Yeah.
And you could have threw Bo Jackson in the mix.
Yeah.
Bo he got hurt, but Bo got.
But I'm saying to reach where you're the number one athlete on the planet
when they know
without
you
any type
everywhere.
of internet access, but without this, that, and the other.
I give you that, but I think something else too though is that when they went and played in China in the Olympics,
that took them over.
That was big. That was wait. What was the '92 Olympics?
92,
Spain.
Then '96 in Atlanta.
Yeah,
I mean, you really think about it, it's going to be easier to be seen back then because you only got so many media outlets.
And then we'd only had 28 teams. You know, wasn't the same amount of teams they have now. Because
you're saying it's easier to be seen back then than it is now?
Well, I ain't gonna say that
to get known.
You didn't have cable outlets.
Back then, what you do?
Hold on.
No.
You realize right now, we switching sports, but you realize who the number one boxer on social media is right now? Jake Paul.
Jake, that's
And he
now
ain't
though.
even no boxer.
That's what I'm saying. It's easier to become big
Yeah.
today than it is back then.
Right.
You think Jake Paul would have been a
No,
success?
I'm saying as far as being a name. Being a name back then, there was one source of media, ESPN. So whatever you saw on ESPN,
Yeah, newspaper,
is the people
CNN,
that was the
local news.
big dogs. So Nike, Gatorade, all these people are throwing their money behind
the best
commercials,
player.
behind the commercials.
But you got people who aren't that
that's
big
true,
anymore
too.
in commercials.
Right, and then Mike being in Chicago,
let's be
Major
real.
City.
Let's be real.
I don't think he's been the same.
What
He's showing
football
like
players
Milwaukee,
in
he
every
would've been the same-
commercial now?
would've been the same
Man,
player.
look here, we talking a whole lot.
Baker Mayfield.
Get to it.
Exactly.
Hey man, get to it, man.
Hey, man,
Who,
hey,
get to
Ricardo
it, man.
need to go.
Get to it. Who is the GOAT, man? Because we going back and
Like I
forth.
said, it all depends on how you define greatness.
Let's get to the.
If you're talking about stats and the accumulation of all that, like you said, I mean,
told
you arguably have to say LeBron.
I told
But
you.
best of all time.
I said mine is stats, how many years you played at a high level, and the impact you made off of the court.
Okay, so let's take it to what you just said. Let's start with stats. Career stats average. LeBron James, points per game, 27.1.
Okay.
Michael Jordan, 30.1. Rebounds, LeBron, 7.4. Mike, 6.2. Assist, LeBron, 7.4. Jordan, 5.3. Field goal percentage, LeBron, 50.4. Mike, 49.7.
Same neighborhood.
3-point field goal percentage, LeBron, 34.5. Mike, 32.7.
Same place.
Free throw percentage, LeBron, 73.4. Mike, 83.5.
All right, here a little bit ahead of him there.
Player efficiency rating, LeBron, 27.4. Mike, 27.9. Steals per game, LeBron, 1.6. Mike, 2.3. Blocks per game, both at 0.8 per game. Turnovers per game, LeBron 3.5, Mike 2.7.
Yeah, they're the same.
Statistically, they're the same.
Okay. So what
Now we're
what's
looking
that?
at 6'8", 245, 250 versus 6'6",
Could
220.
you say so? Stat wise, it would say that they're doing some
About the
similar,
same.
some similar
They're the
things.
same.
Okay, I agree with that.
Go
Now we're going to take it. We're going to elevate that.
go to accolades, please.
We will. I got that.
I'm here for it.
We're going to take those same stats I just gave you, and we're going to move that to NBA Finals performances.
Uh-oh. Keep your punches up, Solomon.
We don't have to bring them up.
Keep your punches up.
You're coming at me like we're not on the same page.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Keep your
You
punches
said
up, Solomon.
stats. You said stats.
Ref, break that up, Ref.
No,
Break
that's
that
what I'm
up,
saying.
Ref.
Like,
I'm
and that's
looking.
why I
Yeah, take a
believe.
point. Take a point for Solomon. Take a point for
I
Solomon.
believe this argument is it's multifaceted. So there's different aspects
So
to it.
then let's go to what Dale said.
Stat wise,
They're even.
they're even.
Let's go to accolades.
I can agree with that. Stat-wise, they-
Accolades, they're not even close.
Okay.
at all.
NBA championships.
6-4.
6-4.
Okay.
Regular season MVPs. Michael 5, LeBron 4. Finals MVPs. Michael 6, LeBron 4. All NBA first teams. LeBron 13, Michael 10. Total all NBA selections. LeBron 18, Michael 11. All, once again, longevity.
Yeah.
All defensive first team.
It's all about
All
longevity.
defensive first team. Michael 9, LeBron 5. All defensive teams total. Michael 9, LeBron 6.
Okay.
Defensive player of the years. Michael 1, LeBron none. Scoring leaders. Michael 10-time scoring leader. LeBron 1. Assist leader. LeBron 1, Michael none.
Hey, that should tell you something there.
Yep.
Steals leader.
Yeah.
Steals leader. LeBron 3. I mean Michael 3. LeBron none. And both have a rookie of the year.
This is still talking
Still
stats
neck
to
and
me.
neck, though.
We're still talking stats.
I think
So Jordan now slightly, in my opinion, Jordan now slightly pulls ahead of LeBron.
Okay.
Now,
where we put Kobe?
He's on the conversation.
I'm
So
gonna say
the reason why Kobe wouldn't be in that top 2 conversation is because you have to say for the first half of his career, they can say Shaq was there with him.
Yeah.
And it was Shaq's team and not Kobe's team. Where I give Kobe credit is he
When
told
Shaq
Shaq to walk and still went and got 2 more after him back to back.
Yeah.
That's fair. I co-sign that. Sustain.
All right.
so. We got longevity because longevity. LeBron has
It was
impact
one of my lines there.
because he started earlier because they're about the same age. They playing right now. Jordan played to what he was 38, 39.
30,
Jordan
38.
played
38.
longer than that.
37.
37.
No. Mike
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
So
So
when he started.
But
Well,
LeBron
you're
had
taking another. So
I mean,
what
with
we
the
don't
Wizards,
understand
with the
with
Wizards, okay.
Michael took the 2 years off, played baseball,
Yeah.
retired again after '98, took another year and a half off,
Okay.
and then came back to
Okay.
Washington. So
and LeBron.
Yeah, he
LeBron
wasn't
has
saying-
what a 4-year head start on Jordan,
right.
Why is that?
age wise. That's just because he came.
Well, Michael didn't have the
No, why is that though?
because he came straight out of
he
high
came
school.
straight out. But
So-
back then,
Bron was great enough to think about this to play in the NBA.
First of all,
Yeah,
the
that was the
rules
last
weren't
year.
allowed.
Out of
The
high school.
rules weren't
year.
allowed for him. He wasn't allowed to come out of high
Yeah,
school.
but Mike,
You really
but
think
but
Mike
let me
would've
be
made it
clear.
out of
Mike-
high school?
But Mike wouldn't have been the number
They
one.
weren't
No.
taking Mike out
Mike
of
wouldn't have
high
been the number one pick coming out of 82 draft.
He was gonna go.
They
But
would
he
have
wasn't
took
gonna
Mike
be.
out
But
of
he
high
wasn't
school.
gonna be the number one pick. Let me
Exactly.
just say that.
He would've came
Cause
out.
Worthy was number one in 82.
Yeah.
Sampson was number one in 83.
You realize
And Mike,
that
when he picked
hold on,
30,
you
They
came
would have
out.
took Mike
You
out.
realize there was a chance that had LeBron gone to college, he might not have been the number one pick.
He would have been number one no matter when he
I
came.
don't think so because you got to think he would have been in college at the
he
same
would've
time
been-
as Carmelo and D Wade.
Yeah.
And the year Carmelo had at Syracuse when they won the national
Yeah,
championship.
that's true. He wouldn't have been.
Okay, but LeBron was actually so. But LeBron came out
The same year as Carmelo.
same year as
Melo.
Carmelo.
Okay, so
So I'm
who
saying,
went
had,
first?
had he have come to college, had he had gone to college,
He still would have went ahead of him.
No, Kobe ain't going to college.
Kobe went straight out. of high
Kobe
school.
went straight out of high school too.
let me say this. I know Melo was really, really good, but even that, for LeBron to go one, but then again, that was a local, Cleveland.
yeah,
picked
had Cleveland not picked first, would he have still gone
first,
one?
I mean,
Yep.
that's something.
It was bringing the
But you
hometown
knew-
boy
but-
home.
But you knew when they won the lottery,
He still would have went number
you
one.
already it was no doubt that you knew they were going to take LeBron.
Yeah,
It
you.
was predestined.
It was already
Just
determined.
like Kobe was gonna get drafted that year.
Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, it wasn't
LeBron. It don't matter who had
yeah.
that first pick. LeBron. Was
But if
gonna
I'm
get
not
drafted
mistaken, I think the draft was in New York at that time. They were still doing it in New York. He moved around a little bit at one time, going to different cities. But I just remember when Cleveland won the draft, I'm like, well, that's what they're taking. There was no doubt in my mind. And just, I think about his impact on the city for what he did for Cleveland. Then when he
Who wants
left.
a vacation in Cleveland.
Yeah, all the
But like I say,
So now that we
He
established.
lost to Jersey.
So-
around Tampa.
We're just saying. So he's been playing better competition.
Absolutely not.
He hasn't. So LeBron hasn't been playing better competition
So
Than Jordan?
right here.
his whole career.
Hey, listen, I've
whole
got
career?
You
this-
telling me some bums that Mike was playing at North Carolina was better than NBA players?
Bum. The ACC was the class. That was the class of the.
Are they better than the NBA players?
And I'm just saying, in college, I mean,
Sir, hold on.
in college,
Sir,
Mike was
let me ask you a
playing
question.
Let me
at
ask the question. This is a legit question.
I see
So
some-
19-year-old Michael
I
Jordan
see
is
some
playing people that played at Wake Forest.
Serge, I see some grays in your beard.
Any
sir.
of those
How
guys?
old are you, Serge?
I'm 42.
Okay. All right.
So no, let's just say, keep
You
it
have
a buck.
perspective.
Okay,
Keep it a buck. Michael Jordan, 19, playing at North Carolina. They played Wake Forest. Name one player from Wake Forest that would have made it to the NBA.
Muggsy Bowles.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
team. So one player.
But
LeBron out of high school.
No, but I'm going to bring you back.
Yeah. 19
Michael
years
Jordan.
old.
Okay, and Michael Jordan as a freshman between 82 and 86. The first player pick came from an ACC school.
Yeah.
Okay, Sampson came at 83, and Sampson may have been the best college player.
Nah, that's the wrong thing.
I'm just saying in the 80s.
I'm saying the ACC thing.
What you mean? Jordan was 8. Jordan was 1.
Worthy was it?
Worthy was 2.
But no, but you're saying each year.
And they was on
No,
the same
I
team.
said 3. I said
And they
3
were on
out
the
of
same
5
They was on the
years.
same team.
Oh, 3 out of 5. Okay,
Yeah,
I thought you were saying each year.
Darty was 86.
Okay, I was going 84.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
Dream was
yeah.
84. No. I know my hoop now. I ain't
Okay,
gonna,
okay,
yeah,
I'll just
I'm
say-
up to
I'll
speed,
just-
yeah. I'm up to speed. I'm here for it.
My man said
But
he
what I'm saying is
So
that
they was on the same team.
Yeah.
Right, he played with
Jordan was playing with NBA caliber players on his team.
Sam Perkins was the fifth player
playing against him
in that draft. So I'm just saying, Jordan had a great body of work in college, and I think Dean Smith is the only one that slowed him down.
Right. But we're not
gonna get veer off in the college.
We're not talking about college. We're talking about competition. We're talking about competition in the pros.
So
we're gonna go competition. Mike had to run through he had to run through the Pistons first off.
Yeah.
Then he had to.
How'd that work out for him?
Hold on. This is a fact. LeBron James has never had to defeat 3 teams with 50 wins or 2 teams with 60 wins in any playoff run. But Michael did that 5 out of his 6 years.
But LeBron and Michael still had to progress to get to where they are.
Yeah, absolutely.
So those steps were always the same. You weren't just gonna come in.
You talk about in the 80s with that hoop. The Knicks was solid.
The Knicks,
the Milwaukee Bucks. Nobody talk about the Milwaukee Bucks.
Sidney
Moncrief was the second best 2 in the 80s.
So no, Jordan was getting bounced out by the Celtics. He dropping 50, 60 points on Larry Bird and getting bounced out.
Yeah.
Think about this. What if Michael went the same route? If the rules had it back then, went straight to the NBA, how would history be different?
I think as a freshman,
about him.
It's about him going straight to
the North Carolina.
Right, exactly.
He wouldn't have the impact LeBron had. He wouldn't have the impact.
It would have took him about 2 or 3 years.
2 or 3 years to get it right,
and then go.
But you could tell. But when he first hit in '84, he took off.
Yeah.
So it was like
And then we talk about the number of years in his career, but technically, 85, 86 shouldn't really count because he missed 78 games with a broken foot.
Right. Okay, I give you that, but but you saw the rise. You saw the rise when he came back, and to me, I think that Jordan, after 1990, was the best player every year that he played.
Yeah,
every year he played, he was the best player. There was no other player. I mean, when Magic won the MVP in '90, that was after that it was his turn, and he got better and better. And like you said, the competition to me was stiffer than what he caught. Cause like he beat a lot of Hall of Famers. I know you was gonna bring that up.
Exactly. But they're also at the end of their careers.
What?
Not everybody was at the end
not
of
everybody.
Not
everybody.
There was a lot of people had more time.
Clyde Drexler wasn't at the end of his career.
He came out of
Gary Payton and Sean Kemp weren't at the end of their careers.
No, they wasn't.
I'm talking about Larry, Magic.
So you're talking about the teams he had to get through in the East. They were coming. I'll give you the Celtics.
The Knicks.
No, the Knicks.
The Knicks had Jordan a problem too.
I said I'll give him the Celtics because Bird was getting old. McHale
Indiana gave him a problem.
And that's it.
Yeah. Magic was the they would beat the Lakers.
Indiana was coming up.
Yeah, Indiana was coming.
Indiana gave them a problem
when they beat
Charlotte with LJ and Zoe.
Yeah, Orlando.
Yeah.
So you had some hoops.
I mean, but still, LeBron.
They got put out by Orlando.
I get where you're coming from, Serge, but LeBron still had to go through the Pistons. He still had to go. He still had to go through the Pacers. He still had to go through the Celtics. Mm-hmm. So it's similar paths. Like
it is similar.
You have to go through certain teams to get
like
to
Bron,
the mountain.
So how I counter that is
you can see that.
Like Bron, you
list.
Let's keep it about.
Hold on.
Had Draymond not got in trouble, he didn't be sitting.
You list Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
How many Hall of Famers in the Jordan era do not have rings because of Michael? How many Hall of Famers or possible Hall of Famers in this era already have rings with LeBron being there?
True.
Who you talking to, Serge?
They say that
because you talking to Serge because
he's not talking to
Charles called him that.
We on the same page.
Because the talent now is more concentrated.
You took in a lot of friendly
all the
fire
talent back then
because
was on
she
less
says
teams.
I argue with him too much, so I'm kind of directing.
But don't make Bakari your guy. Don't make Bakari your guy.
So for me, I say this. There's no question who the GOAT is, in my opinion.
Okay.
The debate is 2 and 3. Kobe or LeBron?
I'm going to say Kobe.
We also got to look at the fact that the NBA changed rules to help Mike.
Don't matter.
They changed the rules to help Mike.
Sir,
what are you talking about?
Sir, stop, sir.
These are facts.
Sir, stop.
Everybody know you like LeBron.
What year did they change the flagrant foul rule? I'll save you time. 1992.
So who benefits from that,
the second Mike does.
And LeBron does what? And LeBron does. No, but all the flopping they doing nowadays, nobody benefits.
But what I'm saying is, Mike had no chips. This is the NBA's darling.
Okay,
all right.
Hold on.
Detroit just won 2 championships in a row by playing bully ball. So what does the NBA do? We call them flagrant fouls. So what happens now? Detroit don't win. All of a sudden, now Mike gets past Detroit.
But Mike beat Detroit before they changed the flagrant foul.
No, he didn't.
They
won the
chip.
Detroit won the second chip.
They won in 90.
Then they changed the rule.
They won in 90.
Yeah.
So the rule changed in 92. Then that was called.
Rule changed in 90. Let me look it up.
Rule changed in 92. The Bulls went 91, 92, 93.
Yeah, because they swept when they didn't even shake their hands leaving the court.
Exactly.
That was 91.
Yeah.
That was 91.
They was like the hell with them.
Where my screen caps at? Because I got all these.
Okay, sir would do his homework. Sir is ready.
I just started right now.
Nah, he been ready. They've been having.
This was coming.
They've been having this
He
debate.
been waiting on it. Okay.
The debate is at 2 and 3.
90-91. 90 and 91 season is when they changed the rule.
Okay, so that's
the year the Bulls won their first
Bulls won it.
So that was the year.
But I think,
Exactly. So they changed the rules. Bulls win,
But let me say this though, the Bulls had the best record that year.
Yeah, they did.
But I think what it was that they had taken
changed
their
the
lumps,
rules.
but they had taken a lump, sir. They got better. See, a lot of times, and I think Michael Wilbon, who I listen to a lot,
They
he
took
said,
their lumps,
he
and
said,
the
you gotta
NBA
lose.
said, you guys can't give out lumps anymore.
Let me finish.
There's a big difference.
You got to lose to win. You got to lose to win.
Right.
So the Bulls, and people don't remember, the Bulls went to the NBA Eastern Conference Finals 88,
Yeah,
89,
and they got
then
bumped up.
and 90.
And then 90. Yeah.
No, I take 89 and 90. I'm sorry, because that was Celtics and Pistons. So they went 89 and 90. Scotty had the migraine the one year, and then the 1 year they came up with the Jordan rules.
Yeah, he was.
So,
Who had the migraine?
Scotty had the migraine.
Who had the migraine?
Scotty.
Scotty had the migraine.
I mean, he didn't want to see Rodman.
What
during
year
that
did
time.
what year did Jordan come out of retirement? And then he came back.
95.
He came at 95.
Oh, this is interesting. The hand checking rule came in at the season 94-95.
But they didn't even know he was going to
Mike came back. No, because he came back.
I got to ask Sir this question.
He was playing
I'm saying.
I got to ask Sir this question.
was playing
Before LeBron hit the league, who's your favorite ball player?
Mine?
Michael Jordan.
Was it Michael Jordan?
No, Kobe.
So before LeBron hit him, so you were never a Michael Jordan fan?
Of course I was a Michael fan.
Okay.
Back in the
But
day.
hold on.
That's why thank you. You're proving the point. Mike was my favorite player.
Wait a minute.
I know better when I see it.
Sir.
When I see it.
Hold on.
Hey, let me Carl want to ask something.
Order in the court. Order in the court.
Give them together. Yeah, call it Twitter.
Go ahead, Bakar.
Give them together, Bakar. What's the question?
So they changed these rules in those certain years.
Yeah.
Ain't LeBron playing by them same rules?
Yes, but now he's playing by them same rules.
And then
LeBron was
the
point from it. No, the point that I'm trying to make.
Who is bigger, stronger, faster?
The point that I'm trying to make is they saw Mike was struggling with this, so let's change the rules so Mike don't got to worry about that. Oh well, Mike's coming back and they hand checking.
They didn't know he was coming
Mike
back.
can't get. Yeah, they did. They knew he was coming back. This is the season he came back.
He had not decided
Hey,
yet. He was still playing baseball.
I've come to realize,
Baseball winning the
Sir,
lockout.
They changed the rules.
That's the only reason why.
Michael
Hold on.
Lockout.
The only reason why Michael Jordan did come back because baseball did go in the lockout.
Thank you.
listen,
So they weren't playing.
Rod.
Yeah.
So that's true.
Me and Bakar have already come to the conclusion that Serge don't like Michael Jordan.
He don't.
And that's so let's just move forward. Let's just move forward. This is a debate we ain't gonna win.
Okay.
We ain't gonna win
I
that
see your
debate.
point, Counselor.
Sustain.
Thank
you.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna win.
Not to come at Bakari offensively or what have you. I'm just directing it to
No, I
you
got you. I
because we was
understand.
going.
I can take it.
So when you were saying we're going by stats and we were even and what have you, where does performance in the clutch rank?
Bron got more game winners.
See that?
Hold on.
Got more game winners.
He's saying that.
Serge
He's
is a
saying that.
homer, man. Serge is a homer.
But are these not facts, though? These are
No,
facts.
you're talking out the side of your neck right now.
No, but these are facts.
Because right here it says playoff game winners with 24 seconds or less.
When it counts.
That's your man.
Jordan was 9 of 18, which means he was 50% for the field. LeBron was 8 for 23,
How
which
many
is 35%.
times has LeBron dished that off to somebody else to take that shot?
That's a smart
That's the
play.
best play to make.
That's true.
Come on now. Let's
me
not
say this
act
now.
like
Michael Jordan did not push off Brian Russell to dish it off to anybody else.
No, he
Let me
did.
say
He
this.
took that shot.
Let me
He
say
went-
this. And I think
Michael Jordan helped him stumble.
Michael Jordan did pass to Steve Kerr.
I'm for the piggyback with you.
Michael Jordan just passed to John Paxson for game winner,
the
too.
game, the bigger
pat
the
on the butt.
opportunity, the bigger Michael
Michael Jordan
played.
did,
And
right.
I think that's what, to me, separates him from
With the flu, he
everybody
pushed
else.
off on Brian Russell.
But I mean, but even that was game. That was game. No, that was 98. That wasn't the flu game. Yeah, the flu game was game 597. But for me, just for what Michael did, I still remember when they showed the finals tape delayed.
Right.
You couldn't even watch them live in the early 80s.
Right. Damn, you old, dude.
Yeah, I'm saying 51. I'm telling you, 51. You had to up 11:30 to watch the finals.
Early
so you
80s.
didn't know ESPN. I'm being truthful.
You're absolutely
the first
right.
fight they did on live TV was 84.
Okay.
So how was you in 84?
6.
How old are you? 6.
See what I'm saying? I was 13.
Okay.
So how old were you?
I was 5.
Okay. Hey, okay. So with that being said, it was like to see the Lakers and Celtics go. You knew Mike was coming, and that's what everybody saw. Mike changed it where like you can get tickets anytime for the Hawks.
Right.
We were we were okay, but people weren't on the Hawks like that. But when Mike came to town,
them tickets was up.
You got it. Yeah.
That's the brilliant marketing money behind Gatorade, Hanes, and Nike. That's all that
LeBron
is.
don't get the same marketing? What are we talking about?
It's not saying that he doesn't, but I'm saying that's the reason.
Okay.
You're not gonna
The
win.
reason.
I know Serge is
It's the marketing dollars, man.
We got
This man is
we can't
making
have-
movies.
We can't have GOAT conversations.
He went to a
With
team
Serge.
because it would help
Now,
his production
Serge
company.
gonna make it something totally different. Serge, he don't
I'm just
like
saying
NBA
that's-
changed everything
he don't like
from Michael Jordan.
He don't
Just
like
saying
Michael
that's
Jordan.
what
Nobody
it was.
else.
Serge
He
don't
was
like Michael
marketing.
Jordan. That's it. He don't like Michael Jordan.
From Michael Jordan to Kobe to LeBron.
Right, and that's fair. I mean, that's you know, that's what's going on. But I just think for me,
In his 10 NBA final appearances, LeBron has had 6 shots within 25 seconds or less left in the game. How many of those has he hit?
2.
0.
Gar?
I don't count that shit.
How many?
He's hit 0 out of 6 with 25 seconds or less left in the game.
I know that.
So let me
Michael was hit 5 out of 8 of those.
let me ask y'all this. 'Cause I mean, like, I think for me, do the sweep do the sweeps do anything to you? Like make them look a little different?
So I'll be honest. I throw that out there in the argument, but I can't count the San Antonio sweep. I mean,
why you can't
because
count
I'll
that?
say LeBron didn't have anybody with him.
Okay. What about the 4-1s?
4-1s, absolutely, especially the one against Dallas where him and Dwayne Wade were like.
That was 4-2.
Okay, well, him and
That was 4-2.
San Antonio when Kawhi got the MVP.
Kawhi, that was 4-1.
I didn't even know who Kawhi was
Hold on.
then.
So you said LeBron ain't have nobody when he got swept by the Spurs?
Yeah, in 07.
Yeah, Mo
In Miami, or are you talking about
he ain't
Cleveland?
Not the Miami. Okay.
No, Cleveland, bro. We had Boobie Gibson.
West was there.
Daniel Gibson,
Drew Gooden.
Ilgauskas,
Okay. All right. I mean,
Varejao.
you know.
Verjao.
He made
We
it.
had Sasha Pavlovich.
When West,
Sasha.
Delonte
Yeah.
was there, right? During that time?
No, Delonte
Yeah,
wasn't there yet.
He had Sasha?
Yeah,
Yeah, we had Sasha- Sasha Pavlovich.
Delonte was there?
Delonte got drafted by Cleveland.
Yeah.
He was there.
Delonte?
No, yeah, Delonte was
played
there.
with Jameer Nelson at St. Joe's.
You don't want to own him.
Yeah,
You know, yeah. That's the
I
time
thought
he
he
was
played.
fucking his
I thought he
mama
played for the
during that
Celtics.
time.
Look, man, Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
is
if Gloria would have stayed out of it, they might have won.
That's what I'm saying.
Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time. Y'all go debate Kobe and LeBron at number 2.
We
Thank you,
we
Bakar.
disagree. We
Thank you,
disagree with
Bakar.
that.
So-
Plus,
so-
also name a Hall of Fame coach that LeBron had.
Well, let's do this. Name a coach that LeBron kept.
A Hall of Fame coach LeBron had, or soon to be Hall of Fame
Hall of
coach
Fame coach.
Eric Spoelstra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eric Spoelstra.
And we all know, really, when LeBron went to Miami, Pat Riley was really calling the shots on that
he
team.
was from upstairs.
So we already know that.
Serge is a piece of work, man.
I'm just saying.
Serge is really.
just saying.
So
Serge
what,
is tripping.
what he's going at, D, is that all of Mike's championships came with Phil Jackson.
It's a system, yeah.
What I get at, what I tell him is,
Man.
Phil Jackson never won a championship without Michael, Shaq, or Kobe on his team.
You can't just keep naming everybody that coach that he played with.
I mean, but quiet as kept. But Phil.
So
kinda
the
peaked when
three
he
of the
was
top
coach.
50 players of all time.
No, probably 3 of the top 10.
10.
Yeah.
3 of the top 10.
Yeah.
So you can't. And then he called them when they were at their peak.
Exactly.
So.
Y'all say 10, I say 5.
And
He had
and
3 of the
and-
top 5 players of
and I
all
hate to go
time.
back. I don't mean to jump.
Every year that he coached.
Hey, we talked about 2000 because we forgot about Shaq with them Kings.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We forgot about them.
We forgot about Page.
We forgot about them. But I mean, going back to what you said, I just think that it's always going to be healthy conversation when you talk basketball with certain guys. I just think, Michael, I'm kind of like you, Ricard. You know, we already know who's the GOAT. 2 and 3, that is the
That's the debate.
That's the debate. Okay.
That should be the debate because Serge is putting his emotions into it. And we can't do that.
You can't be.
You have
you can't just be beating everybody. Every statistical
you go from you a Jordan fan.
Yeah.
No. LeBron. And I get that
because I know better players when I see them.
So if LeBron never played for Cleveland, would you be rooting this way?
I mean, I'm just saying he's a better player. Hell, I think Kobe's better than Mike.
He wouldn't.
I think Kobe's better than Mike.
Wait. I got to get it. The judge got to get in on this.
It's break time.
The judge
Hit the button, break time.
I'm just saying.
Serge is tripping.
You think Kobe better than
At the request of my guest, we're going to take our
Serge
last
is
break.
because, we talk about Mike and his scoring, but how many shots is he putting up a game?
Bro.
He's putting 30 shots a game.
But he had the same player.
He's
averaging 30 points a game. Okay, he's making his
jacket. So
that's a debate you ain't gonna. Hey, that's
they always say Mike scores more points.
Let's Serge have it, man.
LeBron have more points with less shots.
Kobe.
Because he played more games.
But he took less shots.
But he had to play 4 years. You extrapolate those 4 years, it's the same thing.
Man, let's go to break. We'll hit it on the other hand. We'll be right back to His, Hers, and Ours.
Hit a break, man. Serge is a piece of work, man.
$100, baby, and you can pick my teammate.
Give him the chump.
You mean play basketball?
What's up, baby? Just kicking this in 92 for the basketball. Check it out. Swing.
White man, black man gets a check and some dogs so he said. Here's the scoop, they shoot hoop for loot. Go to play, but don't go to stay. No matter what you do, they're gonna treat you like a chump. Cause white man just can't jump.
We back for segment 3 of His, Hers, and Ours, wrapping up the great debate. It's been barbershop character up in here today.
Yep.
We done had some fun. Everybody done seen Surge's true colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm bringing facts, man.
Come on, sir.
They changed the rules for this man.
Yeah.
Twice.
Serge is out here cutting up, man.
Hey, we gotta get Surge's own show. Look at
Serge gotta get his own show,
Gotta
man.
get his own show. I don't give a damn about
the Bron show.
Yeah, the Bron
starring Serge.
Hey, I didn't like LeBron when he left. I hated that.
As expected.
You burnt your jersey?
As expected.
No, I had it hanging out the trunk of my car.
And it got lost.
And then it fell out. I still got this joint though. I got the blue joint.
Yeah,
I lost the red joint.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a lot of people were mad. I was mad with how the owner handled that too. I was really disappointed.
Oh yeah, he was a dickhead.
He was terrible.
Well, it was his reason Bron left. He never really brought nobody to help. But he learned to, didn't he? We got that chip, the greatest chip of all time.
He said the greatest chip.
Greatest chip of all time.
But hold on. Had LeBron stopped playing GM and just went and played basketball,
Y'all would have had more.
he would still be in Cleveland.
Yeah.
They would possibly have another chip because there is no way I would have said, let's get rid of this pick. Send him to Minnesota for Kevin Love.
Yeah.
Seeing what
It works.
Andrew Wiggins turned into.
It worked.
Yeah.
I mean, they got him a chip. They want, and I think when they were looking at,
They looking for one chip?
They were
That's it?
looking at.
We
the
should have
short.
had two.
But let me say
Kevin
this,
Love and
though.
Kyrie got hurt.
But something I don't like what LeBron does is that LeBron don't stay around. Like when he left Cleveland, you know what? I can't win here.
He don't stay around to see the mess he created.
Let me leave. I go to Miami, and then I'm tell you what was so obvious. When they lost to San Antonio, when they got beat 4-1, D Wade getting older, Bosh getting older. I got to go somewhere else. Where I go. So now let me go back to Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
They got Kyrie. I can finagle. Me and Kevin Love cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna work something out, try to get you here. So then when you realize, you know what? Hey, KD go to Cleveland. Go to
Golden State.
I can't win.
I
here
can't
no
beat
more.
them. Let me get out of here.
Let me get out of here and go. And that's what I don't like about
Yeah.
LeBron.
Yeah.
That's what I don't like.
And then recently thrown up in
not
interviews, I'd like to play with Steph.
Yeah. And still like, nah, we good.
Nah, we
bro.
good on
we
this.
Straight. We good. Because you already know we're going to come with it.
So, D, let's get back to what you had said earlier in the show in segment 2. Let me get your starting 5 all the time.
But I tell you, we're going to do this. Let's do this to make it right.
I go first.
You in with us?
I don't pick first.
Already.
Okay, well, let's do this then. I pick first, and we do like a draft. So we got 20 guys. Okay, so then we'll go in there. No, I'm not saying I pick first. So then you'll pick next. Then you'll go second. You'll go third, and we'll go like that to make it fair.
Oh,
So
I already had my 5 together,
Okay,
but I like what you said.
so if I had to start a team, I go Michael Jordan.
Bakari?
Give me LeBron.
Serge?
You already know. Wait, those guys ain't
Those
left?
are gone.
LeBron is off the board.
Oh man, come on. Give me Kobe.
I'm gonna be hospitable. I could go next, but I'm gonna be hospitable and let you go.
No,
Go
go
ahead.
next. You go next. Because I know you ain't going to pick who I'm going to pick.
Uh-oh.
Well, give me Olajuwon.
Magic.
Okay, no, come
So
back.
now
come,
you start off.
No,
you
you
gonna
start,
rotate
we're
and
gonna
come back?
come back round.
So go with another pick then.
Another pick. Malone.
Carl?
Which one?
Carl.
Okay, mailman. Okay.
So if I got Olajuwon, give me KD.
Okay.
Give me Steph.
I'm going by positions, right?
It'll just be in 5
It'll
players.
be in
5
5
players.
players.
Give me Shaq.
I was hoping he was gonna drop. I was gonna take it early.
Man, you tripping, man. What am I thinking about? Okay, give me Tim Duncan.
Ooh,
Give me Tim Duncan.
So who you got now?
Now you.
No,
Oh,
who-
I get to pick again?
yeah, we coming back. So name your 2. So right now you have who?
I got
Jordan.
Matt Jordan and I got Tim Duncan.
Who you?
Now
3.
another pick.
Man, give me AI.
Ooh.
Give me AI. Let's run it. Give me AI.
So you have
So I have LeBron at my starting at the
You got
3.
LeBron and Shaq.
I got Shaq starting at 5. Go on, give me Reggie Miller.
Okay.
I
That's a little.
okay. Let me go. I got my shoe guard, my point guard. I got my guard. I got my guards. Let me go with. I'm gonna go with KG.
Okay, that's a good pick.
KG's good. KG's real good.
Oh. I have Olajuwon and Kevin Durant.
Gotta get some.
I don't like this pick, but I'm gonna take it because he'll do me some good. Give me Chris Paul.
Okay.
Chris Paul?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Man.
That's your one? I need a shooter.
Who do you currently have?
Kawhi Leonard.
Okay.
So who you got on your team?
You
I got Magic, Kawhi, and Malone.
Karl Malone, the mailman. Okay.
Karl Malone.
Back
I gotta
on you.
go again.
Back on you.
And that'll give me. That's why I need another shooter. God damn. I'll say Rose.
Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose, yeah. Derrick Rose.
Prime Derrick
my
Rose.
pick. I'm ready for him. Man, I ain't think about him.
Give me D Wade.
Okay. Kevin Wade counting. Okay.
I'll take Wilt.
Okay, Wilt.
So I got Shaq, I got Reggie, and I got LeBron.
No, I got KD.
Do I want to get the facilitator? Do I want to go with
I'm going
Defoe? Give me Giannis.
Give me Dirk.
I ain't mad at that pick.
Give me Dirk.
I ain't mad at that pick.
Good on 5?
Give me Dirk. I got Dirk. Oh, I'm gonna take his boy. Then give me Chuck.
Barkley.
Damn.
Give me Chuck there. That's a mean.
I'm gonna round out my team right here. I'm gonna have Steve Nash at the 1.
Oh.
I got Reggie at the 2.
Okay.
I got LeBron at the 3.
Okay.
Giannis at the 4 and Shaq at the 5. Come
That's
see.
mean. Yeah, mean. That's mean. That's mean.
I got Scotty.
Damn.
What's up, Spit?
I got Steph, Kobe, Pip, KG, and Wilt.
I forgot who my second shooter was.
Let's see. I got Olajuwon, Durant,
D Wade,
Chris Paul.
Don't
I
put
could go 4. I could go 3.
Don't put Mitch Richmond on your squad. Get some buckets.
Get Detlef Schrempf.
You know what? I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go somebody
Detlef.
who just positionless.
Go ahead.
Give me the big O. Give me Oscar.
Okay, that's fair. NBA GOAT, Spence.
I had who was my second shooter after D Rose? Before D Rose?
Yeah, Kawhi. You got Kawhi, Magic, Karl Malone,
Karl Malone, and
Derrick Rose. So you got
Derrick
one more.
Rose. So I need a center.
You go position whatever.
Kareem.
Okay, Kareem went at 20. Okay, but that just show you when you break that down. Actually, 25th. That show when you break it down. Everybody got different opinions of like what they like, and then like I said, when you take other people's players, that's I always want to have this conversation because people, when you have discussions about who you think is this, like you wouldn't say Reggie Miller, but I know Reggie Miller is your guy, so I mean I felt the same way. Like we didn't talk about Dirk at all, and I think Dirk had a great body of work.
Yeah.
You know,
So can Dirk be considered the greatest international player?
He's in the yes.
Yeah.
No, Tim Duncan from Virgin Islands. I can't do that. Tim Duncan from Virgin Islands. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
So
European. Let's say European.
Where does Giannis stand in that conversation?
Ooh.
I don't think
Giannis ain't got a ship yet.
He does have a chip.
Yeah, he does.
He won last year. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Dirk. I can't put. Giannis got Giannis. See, to me, I think body of work. You got to play a little longer.
Right.
Giannis had a great 8 years, but he got to play. I think I got to see him play another 6, 7.
If he gets another championship.
Oh yeah, the hands down, hands down. Like I say,
Joker, man, you get Jokic out there with that bullshit.
But I'm
So, I mean, you brought it up.
But I'm telling you,
Steve Nash.
with Jokic, yeah, Steve Nash from Canada, actually from Canada.
But Steve Nash, I mean, they say Steve Nash can score if he wants to, and he
was
can.
a scorer when he was at Santa Clara. I mean, he was,
Right. I mean, he was, but I'm saying like Steve Nash wants to get everybody else involved, but he'll get his if he wants to and he needs
We
to.
talking
I don't
about
know.
Jason Kidd either. Didn't bring him up.
Greatest international, I'd say European player,
Can we say Kukoc?
Rick Smits.
You Indiana.
My man said that left.
Tony Parker.
Stojakovic.
Tony Parker.
And Sabonis. Arvidas.
We could do it all 5 international. I mean, if you had Ginobili, you got.
See, I'm gonna take it back to Drazen Petrovic.
Yeah.
Drazen was tough. He said Detlef. You went back with Detlef.
Marcelonis.
Up on Detlef. Sabonis was tough, but he just like he was injured.
Yao Ming.
Well, he was older when he came to the NBA.
Right. Yao Ming.
He was
too.
killing ass over
But
there.
I think for what you said, I think for Jokic is that Embiid should have got the MVP this year. I'm a hold strong on that. I just think that, and then you can't give nobody the MVP. Y'all a 6 seed. I ain't going on that. I mean, you see.
But it's his impact on the team. Where would Denver have been without him?
Okay, so then where's Philly
Nowhere.
without Embiid? Where's Philly without Embiid?
They would have been nowhere without
Where's
Jokic.
Philly without Embiid? Now Embiid on top of that.
But
Philly, I think Philly would have been a playoff team. They might have been a play-in team.
But they still would have made it.
Okay, what I want to see next year, if everybody's healthy, Porter and Murray come back, what do you see Denver doing then?
Being in the Western Conference Finals.
And you stand on that?
I stand on that.
Okay.
Donovan Mitchell.
Because I look at it like this.
Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell probably will not be in Utah next year. Phoenix, like you said, they done. Luka don't have any help.
Well, but I think a lot of that stuff's going to change. Free agency is going to be very crazy.
The two teams to watch out for next year.
Okay.
Denver being healthy.
Okay.
The Clippers being healthy.
Okay. Well, just
he don't like Paul George because he left.
No. See, and that's a misconception.
Solomon said
I have no problem with Paul George.
Solomon said
the team.
That's
the team. That's the way the team. Just like they did Oladipo. Like if they kept Oladipo,
Denver going to be in the West Conference Finals.
Denver making the playoffs.
Down per Solomon Davis.
Absolutely.
And
I just hate that.
Certain things. Eastern Conference Finals.
Eastern Conference Finals.
No, West Conference Finals with Murray and Porter back. Going to sustain.
I just hate that my patience have become nothing. You get a good player, trade him like Oladipo. Oladipo came and they traded. Next year, Eastern Conference.
Too much to be determined.
Well, let me say now. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna say Boston, Milwaukee. I ain't got no problem saying that. Yeah, Boston, Milwaukee. Because I think Miami is gonna make some changes as far as just say. Now you got to ask yourself: is Hero that guy? Mm-hmm. You know, you gave Robinson a lot of money early. Mm-hmm. He's a liability. So you have to. What you got right now ain't gonna work.
My thing is, you got too many teams that are one player away.
Right.
Your boys. If the Hawks get one piece.
But now they've been rumblings, and I saw that they talking about sending John Collins and Werder to Utah.
Mitchell. Exactly. You put a backcourt of Mitchell and Trae Young together.
But see, Miami looking at Bradley Beal. If Miami gets Bradley Beal,
it's a wrap.
Cancel Christmas. They in it, and I ain't a Miami fan, but if they get Bradley Beal.
But can Beal and Jimmy coexist?
I'll never be a Miami Heat fan because of Jimmy Butler.
What don't you like about Jimmy?
I don't like. I mean, he's a great player. He can play. I don't know.
Just don't like him.
Just rubs me the wrong way.
Let me probably his face.
He really chaps my ass. I just don't like that. I just don't like him, man.
I look at Jimmy
like he does the same moves.
He's a poor man's D Wade.
He does. He don't
really do. D had a lot of flash, but Butler's another guy. He scores ugly.
Yeah,
it's ugly, and he gets all the fouls.
He'll do nothing pretty.
This man gets down all the
who that reminds me
of? Turns and throws it.
That reminds me of Giannis.
Yeah.
Everything Giannis does is ugly, and I cannot see how people say this man is possibly the best player on the planet and can't consistently hit a jump shot.
It don't matter because he's getting to the rack.
It's ugly.
He gets to the rack. Definitely gets to the rack. He gets to the rack.
Shaq shit was ugly, but
it was.
Man, I tell you, you wasn't gonna stop it.
You never heard anybody say Shaq was the best player on the planet.
But
never.
You could have.
You could have.
2000. Yeah, he won the MVP.
Yeah, he was. He was unstoppable for a while.
Blue chip Shaq.
Yeah.
Blue chip Shaq. Unstoppable.
Yeah. Shaq, like I say, Shaq.
Neon Badeau.
Kobe and Shaq.
Shaq with the
Hold on.
Neon Badeau.
No, that's still Orlando Shaq.
Okay, but
that means. Hold on. That means Blue Chip Shaq is playing in first three-peat Jordan era.
Yeah. I mean, it's unfortunate.
But let me say this.
It's unfortunate.
If you take the nightlife and off the court stuff with Shaq, and Shaq just focused. He had Kobe's work ethic.
He'd been the greatest ever.
Yeah, great. Easily.
And he didn't have to do that. And look at what he was.
But I think about something else too. Like we went to egos, but egos are it cripples a lot of us as men. It's sad. I don't want to veer off, but I think a lot of times in sports, you have guys, and then you got like your circle of friends. Oh man, you better than him. You better than him. No, you better than him. And I think just like when Shaq and Kobe, they young in Orlando, everybody trying to find their way. Shaq came in, dominated. Here come Penny. Penny take right off. You know, instead of playing together, you know, made like, well, now who's the man? I'm better than you. You know, man, you better than Penny. You know, Shaq, they telling Penny the same thing. And I just think when they left, they really messed up what could have been.
Shaq said that.
But then the Magic tried him too when they lowballed him.
Yeah.
Because you can't pay him unless you give him the Lonzo Mourning.
Right.
And I think that's something too where the egos come into play.
Well, you got to look at this, and I think where Shaq didn't take into consideration, the reason we've fallen in love here in Tampa with Tom Brady is you ain't looking to be this $40 million quarterback. No. You're going to take the $25 million and what have you so that we can keep other players around you.
Right.
When Shaq got wind that Alonzo was getting $100 million, Alonzo didn't have a Penny Hardaway on his team. Granted, he had Larry Johnson, but LJ wasn't commanding that much money at that point in time.
But that shows you where management was not educated in making that investment because he was here, wanted to be here. But when you didn't pay him, and I mean, if you see the 30 and 30 they had with him and Penny, they showed them scrambling, trying to go to the
Atlanta Olympics.
And, you know, the general manager's like, man, you know, the deal's already done.
Speaking of, was that not the biggest slap in the face in basketball history that they picked Christian Laettner over Shaq for the Dream Team?
Let me tell you why. And I got inside information on this.
Go ahead.
You know why?
I think it was it wasn't color.
I think it was Coach K doing it?
It wasn't color. I think Laettner was a better college player, and that's why they went with him. Kind of same thing like when Isaiah left off the Dream Team.
Well, that's politics.
Okay, it's politics, but I'm saying, but the thing is, you let players dictate that. But that shows you how strong and powerful they were at that time.
So you think Laettner was a better college player, or did he show up in bigger moments because of what he had around him? Because remember, that Duke team, was basically undefeated.
But he gave, but he also gave Shaq that work. He gave Shaq that work both years they played.
Shaq was a freshman that year.
No, Shaq was a sophomore. He was a sophomore the second time they played.
Okay.
Shaq came into his own because, in fact, Shaq was on the team. Them and Chris Jackson played together.
Right.
A lot of people don't remember that.
Okay,
so with that being said, I just think Laettner was the better college player, and that's what they went for.
I was in the 8th grade.
So when you go back, and then Coach K did have a lot to do with that too, because
but he played in a bigger
I don't care
market.
what y'all say.
It's the Coach K fan.
I'm not a Duke fan at all.
But
I'm Florida State through and through. But
Laettner was the full Final Four. And when you start, if you get into that conversation about best
I'm a
college
Duke fan,
players,
so
okay,
I'm a Duke
fan.
fan.
But Laettner went to 4 Final Fours and won 2 chips.
He's a dog.
You can't discount his body of work.
Yeah, but
I know from a fan,
there was a couple of Sweet 16. It didn't.
Oh no, it did. It did. But Shad, you got a lot of college guys
who can't play
that don't make it to the next level.
And college is more of a system where in the league.
But Laettner played how many years?
Maybe 7 or 8.
He played about 9 or 10. You got to check. He played with Atlanta, sat on the bench. He ain't doing
Minnesota.
Minnesota. But like I said, he bounced around. But I think he didn't have the love. You know, he got that check and just. It's a lot of Danny Ferry. But there's a lot of guys that go to Duke that don't do that when they get to the league.
Hey, man. Hey, be quiet, man.
I'm a Duke. I love Duke. I got on. I fell in love with Duke. They beat Vegas in '91.
So let me ask you this: better team, that '91 Vegas team or the '92 Michigan team?
'91 Vegas.
'91 Vegas, grown men over there, man.
Versus the Fab Five?
They were dogging folks. They were grown men. So when you break that down, Jalen Rose don't play no defense.
They was
That's first. So Hunt gonna get loose.
Okay.
And then when you start talking about Larry Johnson, George Ackles.
George Ackles couldn't hold either Juwan Howard or Chris Webber.
Okay, no. And I'm not saying holding him. But he gonna put that's a body. Then you got Big Elmo from Atlanta. He off the bench. Everett Gray. But Michigan had a good team. I just think for them is that the 2 years they went, Duke was better.
Each year.
Carolina, they were better. They were better than Carolina.
They were older players.
They just couldn't finish. They were better than Carolina, just couldn't finish. But I think, when you say that was a great. We had great teams like, people talk about the Georgetown team with Big Pat. A lot of y'all may not remember that.
I do.
Arkansas had good teams in the 90s.
Corliss Williamson.
Kentucky had strong teams.
Mashburn.
You know what I'm saying? So I just think it's Boeheim had good teams. He just won with Melo. But Melo had to get to the 8, they just can't finish. I just think it's when you have college basketball conversation, Christian Laettner has to be in the conversation.
Okay.
You can't have a college, not from the say 80s on. You can't. Chris Laettner got to be in there because he did something that nobody else do.
So last thing, and we're gonna wrap it up, and this gonna get Serge involved again because we had this debate all the time too.
You talking about Bron?
Nah, with Mike.
Uh-oh.
Mike is who he was because of who he had as a sidekick.
Facts. System, the sidekick.
Let me
the role players.
Let me say this. When Mike first got to the league in '84, Scotty came in '87. So '84, he had Reggie Theus, David Greenwood, Charles Oakley, Dave Corzine. He had another little dude, Orlando Woolridge, and he didn't have Scotty, and then it took Scotty a little while to develop. So let me do that first. Scotty didn't really pop. Scotty was first All-Star appearance was 90. That was his first All-Star appearance was 90. So it took him about 3 years to get into it.
Which was Mike's 6th year.
But Mike never won without Scotty. Scotty never won without Mike.
Okay.
So the question is what?
So do you think Michael is? We already made it between us. Obviously, we got the outcast over there, who doesn't believe Mike's the greatest.
The realist.
We believe Mike's the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Would he have achieved that level without Scottie Pippen as a teammate?
Nope. No way. Absolutely not.
No, just like you can say that with any Magic never makes that high success without James Worthy.
Nope.
Without Kurt Rambis, without Byron Scott. Bird never makes without McHale and Parrish.
Okay.
Zeke never win without what he got.
Isaiah doesn't win it without Joe Dumars,
Dennis Rodman.
So every team has that. You have to have a supporting team. Klay Thompson doesn't win them without Draymond and not Klay Thompson. Steph Curry doesn't win it without Klay Thompson and Draymond.
Okay.
Definitely.
Right, but I guess what I'm trying to get at, Bakari, is if I remove Scottie Pippen from that team,
there's no championship.
Where I doubt that, but where is Michael as far as greatness?
But if you replace, let's just say you take Scotty out and you go get a low budget 3, because you had guys in the NBA back then that were interchangeable. They played offense, played defense.
Right.
I mean, let's say I just say even did this, if you replaced him with a Ron Harper, just low budget,
Ron Harper
played defense. I mean, but he was a dog. But I still think Mike was so much better. Scotty made a lot of things for Mike easier, as far as say defense. But Mike had that dog. I want to guard him too.
Right.
I'm going to guard him too. But I just think Scotty was a part of something good. Could Mike have won without Scotty? I believe that.
I say
Could Scotty won without Mike? I don't think so.
I say this: Mike wins 3 for sure without Scotty.
So I say this. I say with Scottie Pippen being ranked as one of the top 75 players of all time, even before they came up with the 75, he was top 50.
Yeah.
Versus Michael being the greatest of all time because of Scotty. Scotty is on that list because of Michael. I don't think
Scotty had a good resume too, though. Solomon. He had a solid resume.
Why you
because I look at
resume.
I look at this, and this is why it intrigued me at the beginning of the show when you said Dominique was your favorite player because being from Atlanta and what have you. There are so many people that think Scottie Pippen was the elite small forward of that era. When I don't think he even holds Dominique's job.
But you had Alex English was giving out work.
That's why I said Alex Bernard
was dropping off. Mark Aguirre, James Worthy. I mean, you had guys. Adrian Dantley.
Objection.
Scottie Pippen can't hold Zeke's jockstrap.
But Scotty played D, and I think that's where his
Scotty played defense.
If I had to, when we were building these teams. He said Scottie Pippen on his team in order to spite me is why he did.
No, I took Scotty because Scotty's.
None of us would have picked Scottie Pippen on our team.
I was looking at small forward.
In 25?
Nah.
So wait a minute. So if Serge don't pick Scotty, you would have
picked Scotty.
Yeah, because I was looking at small forwards, and in my mind I said,
you look at complimentary players.
Scotty. To me, small forward.
Dominique, I say Bird, like he said, Adrian Dantley, Alex English.
Yeah, you had guys that Scotty played good defense, man. But
yeah, that's why I picked him because he could play defense and he's a scorer.
I had on my.
Let's not act like he didn't do the thing when Mike was
I had
gone.
Jordan.
Okay.
I had Shaquille.
Okay.
I had Karl Malone.
Okay.
Steph Curry and Magic Johnson.
Okay.
What is it
Those
about
are my
Karl
5.
Malone that you love? answer me this.
I feel like
the
mailman, man. He just used to do a lot, man.
Delivers on Sunday.
He used to do a lot, bro.
He don't. That was Scotty told him.
He loves Karl Malone for the same reason that most people love LeBron. He put up stats consistently over a long period of time.
Yeah. But he was.
There's no.
He was
There's.
the man.
You can't compare the two.
But see, then again, it goes to the same argument we talking about. Karl Malone doesn't put those numbers up without John Stockton.
Nah, I agree with that.
I definitely agree with you.
And LeBron puts those numbers up no matter who he's got on the team.
LeBron wins no championships without teaming up with our players.
That's true.
That's how it goes with anybody.
Exactly.
That's anybody.
Keep your punches up.
Okay,
take a point from you too.
Yeah.
Keep your punches up. Now y'all keep being absurd. Y'all stop being
Doesn't
absurd.
fact that say
Serge
that.
came with his nice.
But we can say that with anybody.
Specifically from Georgia.
You keep throwing these low punches. I'm taking the point.
Yeah, take a point.
Let me ask this question. Who was the one that started this whole mess of, if I can't win here, I'm going to go with these other people?
LeBron
started.
No, I don't think so.
No, LeBron.
LeBron did.
LeBron.
Yeah.
LeBron.
That was going on back in the day. Karl Malone joined the Lakers.
No.
Gary Payton joined the Lakers.
Hold on. Scottie Pippen and Charles Barkley went to Houston.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they were in the prime. They were the twilight of their career.
Imagine this.
Right.
Imagine.
12,
Hold on,
13
time out real
years
quick.
in.
What is your fascination with Karl Malone?
Please tell him what he was on my list. He was
Twice, that's what I'm saying.
I just think he was a hell of a power forward.
I love
man.
Charles Barkley. I had a chance to pick him, but they put him on my team.
Why you ain't put him on your team if you
Do you know
you see
my team?
Yeah, I seen your team. But you see, I had the guys that I really, really love on my team, right? That's my thing. I always felt like Karl was a better forward than anybody.
Steve Nash and Reggie Miller.
Okay.
I got Giannis and I got LeBron, two of the most gifted athletically players you ever seen, and the most dominant Shaq. What are we doing?
You got 4 MVPs.
So,
I had 5.
Imagine this.
So what do you
96,
think,
97, 97, 98.
Okay.
Stockton and Malone win those championships versus Mike and Scotty winning them.
They had to see them two times.
Hold on. And Mike said, "You know what? Damn it, I couldn't beat these motherfuckers. Let me go sign with Utah."
Would never did that.
Oh, he would have never did.
He would never did
Okay.
that. He would never did that.
Mike was a killer.
Him and Kobe didn't have that where
I want to be friends with you.
I want to play like no. A lot of guys got traded late in their careers or got moved, but those guys, Mike wasn't doing that. Mike wanted to beat you.
Mike was
wanted to
taking
beat
simple shit personally.
Y'all know who I like?
But that was
John.
drove him though. You like who?
Yeah.
I took that personally.
John Morant. I
like
think
John.
he the one who got that killer. That I ain't trying to be nobody's friend.
I like Ja. The only thing I dislike, and it's not about him personally, it's about the generation.
Yeah, the generation. They don't
Everybody
respect
wants
nothing.
to show up before winning something.
Yeah, that's
the
true.
whole dancing on the sideline before
But I think that's the young. That's the
That's
generation
right,
young.
that we. That
Don't
we-
be that old man, Solomon.
Yeah, but I think,
Don't be that. Get out.
Don't be
Don't be that guy sitting in your garage,
These young
listening to the music, and
Get off my lawn!
Get off my grass.
Yeah. Don't take no fucking Dylan
Don't be
Brooks.
that guy.
Dylan Brooks said, we young,
Yeah.
we gonna be back, and I'm like, Dylan, it's
Be
cool,
humble.
but
Be
Dylan,
humble.
just
Take this
chill.
ass whooping.
Just chill
And be
When
quiet.
they did whoop that trick, I don't care what nobody say. If you ain't got nothing in you,
Yeah.
competitive, we definitely send them home games.
Yeah.
We definitely gonna send them home.
And that's what Draymond's like. He's like,
Yeah.
well, y'all gonna whoop that trick. We're gonna whoop them together.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be, so y'all front running. I
wanna
said they
win
front
that shit
running.
at home.
But I agree with you. I think the league nowadays is that
every
even like
time.
if you saw Luka against Phoenix,
Yeah.
wasn't the same against Golden State.
Nah.
He got his chest stuck. I tell the Phoenix crowd, y'all be quiet, shut up.
Yeah.
Golden State give him their word. He pouted.
Yeah.
But that's why I go back to younger players today don't want that whooping.
No.
They good to sell out and cloud, but they get off on you. But if you taking your lump, like I always tell people, you got to be able to take it.
Yeah.
You
When
want
it
this,
comes
you
to
gotta
you.
take it.
Yeah.
You got to take it.
So real quick, we gotta wrap it up.
Okay.
I know we did the draft real quick a couple minutes ago, but for Mount Rushmore, NBA.
Okay. No positions.
No position.
Oh, no position.
Positionless. Top 4.
Okay. Mike, Kobe, LeBron, Dream.
Bakari.
Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Shaquille O'Neal.
I feel like we just gonna swap out the fourth person.
Carl, like he doing the spelling bee.
Serge, yeah. LeBron,
I'll go
LeBron.
with my fourth would be Wilt because he changed. They had to change the rules for that. Man.
I got you.
Okay.
He did drop 100.
Did you see it though?
No,
it's like the moon landing.
Really happened? Mike, Kobe, and LeBron.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Karl Malone.
Karl Malone.
What Karl Malone better be on this Mount Rushmore?
Magic. Karl Malone. Dennis Rodman.
Hey, I gotta say this before we go. I've never met anybody that's on Karl Malone like that. I go home that day, man. It's a show, man. He really on Karl Malone.
Karl Malone, the mailman. He drive trucks, man.
It's pretty
That man was driving trucks out here in these streets, bro.
Karl Malone, that's fair. That's fair.
So in mine, I'm gonna stick with what you said. I got on my Mount Rushmore. I got to put 4 that I actually saw play.
That's all I could do.
So I'm going Mike, Kobe, LeBron, and my 4th is gonna be Tim Duncan.
That's fair. Can't go wrong there either.
If we got to go somebody swap, I'll go AI. I'm swapping AI out for Wilt.
Okay, he's on my 5.
So can I take Karl off?
You can. You don't have to. This is your Mount Rushmore.
I'm taking Karl. I'm taking
Your Mount Rushmore.
Now Karl
is
might be mad.
downtown.
Karl gonna be mad. He gonna call me.
And they see your armature work.
Karl Malone.
Shaq Diesel gotta be on
That
there.
shirt for him. Okay.
Y'all already know. Yeah.
Karl Malone.
Shaq Diesel.
I've never, I'm 51 years.
You never heard
nobody.
Karl Malone, baby.
I've been doing Simon.
He was great.
I've never.
Definitely top 50, top 50, top 100 player. I give him that.
But they keep shouting him out, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, y'all really know how problematic.
Karl, make sure the check is coming in at
Hey,
it.
but listen, man, this has been a fantastic episode. I really enjoyed you fellas for coming through. I want to extend the invitation that we do this the weekend before the NFL season kicks off.
That's Labor Day weekend.
Ain't
Y'all
gonna
want to
be
do it
here.
the weekend before?
Well, we'll do the weekend before that then.
I'm being New Orleans.
Oh, you going to Florida State LSU?
I got tickets.
Okay.
I'm
There you go. Say
That's
less.
what's
So
up.
let's
Okay.
do it the weekend before.
We can do the weekend before that then.
We do that.
If you're available.
The 27, 28. That's fair. We do the
Talk some
27.
football.
Well, I'll be ready
Since,
for that.
just trying to figure out who's going to come out of the AFC since my boy's coming
Come
out
on,
of the
man.
NFC.
You already know who's coming out. You already know.
Deshaun Watson gonna be playing?
Well, we're gonna talk about that.
Hey, man, Deshaun might not be cleared yet, so let's
Hey,
not
man,
jump
you
in.
heard his attorney saying nothing illegal with a happy ending.
There's nothing wrong with that. Off menu item.
So real quick, Dale, go ahead and plug the Chop Shop one more time.
Hey, man, check us out every Tuesday night, man. Chop Shop, 7 o'clock. We meet AFG, Coach DB, and David Ruff. We get on there, clown about a whole lot of stuff, man. So appreciate y'all having us on here tonight, man. We definitely got to run this back.
No problem at all. Bakari, OG Sports Show.
OG Sports Show every first and third Sunday on Shifted Vision Media, where we talk sports, a little music, shout out to women in sports, and we make some picks and stuff. So check us out.
Rob, drop the title of the album you coming up.
Yeah, man. Well, my podcast, you might not like this. We be dropping every now and then. So yeah, I'm inconsistent. I've been getting complaints about that, but we dropped one the other night, so it's
Karl
up there.
Malone coming up.
Karl Malone, he gonna be my first guest. My first sports guest when we talk. You might not like this sports.
Okay, that's fair.
Go ahead. Tell us about the album real quick.
He would be perfect for that.
Well, I released the album in February, but I just it's still out there. Just keep doing it, man. And we got one more, Divorce, and then we done.
Okay.
And then you got a cinematic production going on too, right?
Oh man, I got a whole bunch of those. Like I'm gonna be on this new Nothing Matters show, and I also got a film that I'm doing in about 2 weeks with Tiffany Ware, and I forgot the name of that. Hopefully nobody killed me. I play I'm not good with that. I play a detective, cricket detective, which I kind of like being a bad guy. Hell yeah, bad guy, bro. First, I'm trying to bishop my way in this motherfucker.
Okay, like Denzel and Trey today, huh?
Yeah.
Lonzo.
Yeah, I'm trying to be Lonzo. Jake.
You want to go to jail or you want to go home?
Surgical with this bitch, Jake.
Hey, man. Serge, what's up? When you got any performances coming up?
I think at the end of the month. I got to check.
Oh, we got the golf.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, golf tournament. June
fellas play
25th,
golf?
Saturday.
I ain't got that culture yet.
Yeah,
I got rid of my clubs, and I ain't
I
trying
go
to
to the
take
car
shit.
though and hang out and kick it
Okay,
like
so
that.
just to put this in perspective, so this is a charity. It's for the Purple Heart. Jan Stevenson was the golfer's name. She's, I think, it's Australian, if I remember right. Okay, so that's her course over there in Tarpon Springs, Tarpon Woods course, June 25th. And it's put on by Night Moves Magazine, along with Full Throttle Magazine and Florida's Finest Bikini Babes. And basically, it's all day fun. Girls get auctioned off as caddies. And then... Yep,
As misogynistic
as about as misogynistic as you're going to get. A lot of nudity now.
And we're gonna be shooting my first music video is gonna be shot there for the single called "Teeing Off." It's about golf and about relationships.
If you want, and everybody,
LeBron on the feature?
No. Wait till you hear
That's
this.
the remix.
That's the remix.
Oh no! Wait, you already heard.
I heard it.
You heard it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely June 25th. It's going to be an interesting time. I'm going to say that.
Okay. All right.
So, but everybody in Full Ohio Radio Network is invited. In that case, so that's why Sergio's been trying to get y'all to try to form a team.
I mean, I see what I can put together. I got a dude up in Jacksonville who plays some golf, so I can get him down here. Hey, listen. Over the last 2 months, I've been a Top Golf pro.
Because you've been beating us. Like, we don't want to play either.
Hey, a win's a win. LeBron ain't playing nobody. He won, right?
Okay, on that note.
He only beat the greatest team of all time. I'm just saying. Numbers don't lie. 73 and 9.
With that being said, it was a pleasure having these fellas at the round table today.
Court is adjourned.
We're going to have them back again, talk some NFL football. Fellas, thank you a lot. It was a pleasure, man. We're going to have to wrap it up again. For Shannon, who wasn't supposed to be on the mic today, but y'all heard her in the background.
Executive producer, all in the video.
Got co-hosts off the mic, but all in the videos.
I'm just directing over here. Don't play the greatest. Go ahead.
She getting her Spike Lee on.
You was who?
Phil Jackson over here.
All right, Phil. So that means I must be the greatest because Phil always had the greatest on his team.
Scotty!
Guess I haven't reached my max potential yet.
Scotty!
But it was an enjoyable show. Y'all remember to catch us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Music, Spreaker, and any other place that you stream your podcast. This has been His, Hers, and Ours. We out.
See ya.
Any artist out there want to be an artist and want to stay a star, don't want to have to worry about the executive producer trying to be all in the videos, all on the record, dancing. Come to Death Row.